Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, and the last time I was up at WIBX with the Keeler Show, when I wasn't shutting down hecklers in the comedy club, I was learning all about Bill and Robin Mongeau and their amazing philosophy of buying and selling homes at River Hills Properties. Folks, when you list your home with River Hills, you're getting an extra level of service it is not available with other agencies. And I, for one, can't imagine having people I don't know wandering through my home when I'm not there. It's bad enough I've got Lincoln throwing his keg parties when I'm on the road. But also, that's the way houses are sold up in Utica, but not with River Hills. Your River Hills listing agent is there every time your house is shown. They turn the lights on, they answer questions, and they make sure no one's going through your medicine cabinet. It happens. Trust me, I've done it to a few people. Not proud. But seriously, list your home with River Hills Properties and reduce your stress level. It's like having a personal assistant to oversee the sale of your home. So why wouldn't you list with River Hills? What the heck's wrong with you? If you're even thinking about selling your home, call my friends at River Hills Properties, serving Utica, Rome, the Valley, and the North Country. Call 315-896-1009. And remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties. Tell them Jimmy Fallon told you to call.
Memorial Day savings are here, and that means time to upgrade for summer. Adirondack Home Furniture is overstocked in every department, so come take advantage of their amazing deals on sofas, dining sets, bedrooms, outdoor poly furniture, and more. Right now, take advantage of their lowest prices of the year on select items, or 4 years, 0% interest financing. Adirondack Home Furniture has a large line of quality USA-made furniture from top manufacturers. Something for every room, any size, inside and out. From modern to farmhouse, rustic to transitional, with free local delivery and a professional, knowledgeable staff, you'll have your dream home in no time. Plus, salespeople are non-commissioned, so you'll enjoy a relaxing, no-pressure experience. Celebrate Memorial Day and save big at Adirondack Home Furniture for living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, home office, and patio at their lowest prices of the year. Adirondack Home Furniture, Riverside Center in North Utica, or at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com.
It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started. It's time to get things started. On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, good morning. It's been an interesting week. I want to tell you, we'll start with some breaking news. They will not, at the Candlewood Suites in Salina, be housing former Utica school superintendents, and they will not turn the parking lot into a complete streets test project. That's what we know so far. We'll find out. By the way, migrants are now taking over the Utica School District. So that's where we begin the week, or end the week, I guess.
What?
Yeah.
Good morning, Bill.
You never know. We might be better off, right? We might be better off. So we have learned that this has been a story that everybody is talking about. It seems the migrants coming up on a bus to a hotel in near the Syracuse airport, and now we're learning that because of the injunction, there is from a court, 2 judges. We have learned that they have put everything on pause up to this point. That's what we know. And it's not permanent. However, it could be. We don't know.
So the people living there can continue to live in the
That
streets?
I don't know anything about. And I still don't understand why. I kind of started yesterday out this way, and I feel the same way today. I don't understand why the governor doesn't step up and say, this is an emergency situation. We are suspending. You cannot kick people out of a hotel or an apartment building and evict them in order to place, forget the migrants, anybody else in there. It's like, you know what, we like this group better than that group, so we're just going to kick you out and give you 3 days' notice. There should have to be some sort of a process. They were able to do it during COVID. Why can't they protect these people now?
Oh, because it's the political hot potato. That's why. One
I
side
think
didn't
you're
want
right.
it during
You're right.
COVID, and
Yeah.
then the other side said, okay, well, then we have to do it. And then here you have one side who traditionally, at least it is always said that they don't want the migrants, and there's all sorts of horrible reasons why they don't. And the other side saying, well, yes, we do.
I got to tell you something. When COVID hit, it didn't seem all that horrible when Cuomo was the one that did this. When he first said, people aren't able to work right now. There's a work stoppage. Everybody's at home. We're going to you can't evict people because they can't pay their rent here in March, April, or May. And you know what? It kind of made sense. There were people that weren't working, weren't able to work. But then money started coming, right? We started getting checks, and the checks were not spent on rent. And then it got to be July and August, and even further. Then it got to be the next year, and this was still going on. It became completely ridiculous.
And the argument again became, well, it's winter. You can't do it now.
Right. And then
it was
the other
expire in January.
and
we can't do it in January.
They've gotten so far behind they can't catch up. That became the argument after a while. And but why not subsidize if you're going to take these landlords, some of them big landlords out of New York City, true. Some of them, an elderly woman whose husband has passed away, they had one thing as part of their nest egg. It was the apartment next door, and that's where they made their retirement income. And we heard stories where people like that had to give up their properties. She lost everything, you would hear people say. So none of that, nothing made sense for the longest time, and now here we are, back to things not making sense again, and maybe it just never stopped making sense. I don't know, but that's where we are. So right now, New York City has suspended the plan to move busloads up to Onondaga County. That's where this currently stands as it plays out in the courts. Interesting stuff. As we head into what looks like a beautiful weather Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
We're going to once we get through tomorrow. Listen to this. Tomorrow, we might even be dealing tomorrow with a frost tomorrow morning. It's going to be cold overnight. Yeah.
I thought it was quite chilly this morning.
There may be
37
a frost some of the higher elevations this morning. There's a very heavy dew out there. I've always wanted to say heavy dew, and there's a heavy dew this morning.
Overnight low tonight is just maybe a little above mid-30s, so in certain areas you could see that frost again.
Yeah, that's what there's a frost warning in effect. Maybe it's a frost watch. I don't know.
I'm sorry, Bill. You talked about how nice the weather is this coming weekend for Memorial Day weekend. Tuesday, I'll even say Sunday. Sunday, sunny, 82. Monday, sunny, 86. Tuesday, sunny, 88. Wednesday, sunny, 88.
It's going to be a hot week.
As much as I'm loving baseball, I'm so in love with baseball again. Yeah. I don't want to do a game with all the gear when it's 89 degrees outside.
You will be complaining next week. It's going to be disgusting. I can't even believe it. Buck Showalter may be in trouble. The Mets have lost 2 straight now. And there are rumblings, and there are even names being kicked around.
As his replacement?
Yeah.
Like?
I can't remember any of them, but I thought we'd kick him around. I thought you'd remember.
Well, I really like Buck Showalter, although this does seem to be his M.O., Smitty. Am I wrong? Where he takes a team where you don't know what to expect, or they have subpar expectations, and he turns them into a good ball club, and they hustle and they do the right things, and then all of a sudden they become an accomplished or a decent ball club, and then they start underperforming once they get that reputation.
I'm this morning looking at. I think that is it possible that Joe Torre would come out of because he's not retired, he's working with Major League Baseball, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. He's
but that name, I thought was being tossed around last night as a possible.
Give me a Joe Girardi. I'll take Girardi.
I agree, and I to be honest with you, I just don't understand. These guys are paid so much. They're such an offensive lineup that we have, and we can't seem to score runs. Pete Alonso making a base running mistake last night. I saw it a couple times. I believe that's what I saw. He got caught on a ball that flew out to left field. He got caught sliding into second base, and he was stranded. I don't know what he was thinking because it didn't look like that ball was going to. It looked like the ball was going to be caught. I thought anyway. But of course, I'm watching from a couch watching TV. Tina Turner passing away yesterday at the age of 80-something. We'll speak with Tanya Powers about that. She was 83 years old. This morning, Dr. Dr. Zielinski, talking about ADHD. Are you in a scenario where and this is happening to families all over, not only over the around the state, but around the country, where there are medicine shortages? So maybe there's been an ADHD medicine that your kid is on, and all of a sudden you can't get it. So you go from having it to not having it, and there becomes a withdrawal. A lot of families have been dealing with that. Wow. A lot of medicines that have been not available. Crazy. Willie Waffle later in the hour, talk about what you can be watching heading into this weekend. And, boy, I got to tell you, you may very well find yourself outdoors this weekend because it's going to be something. We'll talk a little IRS action. You know that President Biden wants to fund the IRS even further. Republicans don't want to do it. Paul Buckley is in this morning to yell and scream and call people sweetheart.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what he does.
And it'll be stick it in the can, which is you can no longer in Utica after a certain date, which is coming up, put your waste to the streets. Mm-hmm. Stick it in the can. What else did I have here? I thought this was kind of a crazy story here. This is a woman out of, I believe it's a woman out of Georgia. She is a state representative, and she is in full belief that we as Americans are being brainwashed. By the way, she is a Georgia politician. She is a flat earther. She believes the earth is flat. She has been elected overwhelmingly, with an overwhelming margin, elected into her position in the state legislature there. She said the reason we see globes all over the place is because we all are being brainwashed. Here she is talking on her show, Jesus, Guns, Babies, pitching her theory. Listen to what she says. There might be something to this. It's coming right up. Maybe.
I can't unsee this. All the globes everywhere. I turn on TV. There's globes in the background. There's globes on there right here. Like this would be a globe if I was a normal person. Like everywhere there's globes. My children will be like, Mama, globe, 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 globe. They're everywhere. And that's what they do to brainwash. And so for me, if it is not a conspiracy, if it is, real, why are you pushing so hard? Everywhere I go, every store, you buy a globe. There's globes everywhere. Every movie, every TV show, news media. Why?
Oh, wow.
I do have to say that if I could get her show, I would watch it every night. I would tape it and watch it over again during the midday.
Yeah.
I could not get enough of this woman. She is, just remember, she's been elected by her constituents. People follow this.
So
globes. She's talking about a globe, anything round. Look at that clock. It's round. It's
is
a globe.
That what she means?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the cylindrical shape.
I have two globes in my house. World globes. A globe.
Right. Okay.
I have two of them. I mean, those are real globes.
I mean, how come
those are really spreading the terrible truth that the world is round.
Okay, so we're establishing you think she just means round things, not actual globes.
Yes. She said,
okay.
Look at here. I'm going down the street. Street lights look like a globe to me.
No, it
Light
doesn't.
bulb. The clock looks like a globe. We've got globes everywhere.
Buildings aren't globes. They're rectangles. We're surrounded by streets, and people aren't globes.
But look at the lights on the building, and there's a round globe covering the light bulb. It's a globe. It's terrible.
Oh, man.
Tonight on TV, the Golden Globes. This is awful. Although I don't think that's on tonight. She's a corker.
We always talk about, and I'm not being negative here, but if it's in school or if it's your younger relatives at the holidays, the kids are running around, and someone might say something along the lines of, this is the future generation of leaders right here. Yeah. And then there's also that group where you go, this is the future generation of blank ups right here.
Yeah.
And they're kind of all, they mingle in and out, and they know each other and stuff. But this lady's a moron. It's kind of scary.
I wonder when you think of any of this stuff logically, why you wouldn't, why isn't there a story of someone falling off? How do they explain that? If the world is flat, it just keeps going? Well, that's not true. And how do you get from, if the world is flat, I feel like an idiot even trying to just understand what she's saying, but just think about the whole concept for a moment. My son is in Japan right now. He went on vacation with his girlfriend. Believe it or not, they went to Japan. How did he get there? You're going the wrong way. You've got to go east. Otherwise, you're going to fly off into nowhere.
I don't know. I don't know. And I just wish, for the sake, what's his name? Who's the Kyrie Irving? Because he was a flat earther.
There's a lot of
still is, maybe.
And these people will look at you like you're the goofball.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you've been brainwashed. You're one of them.
You're
know. One of the many.
I know.
Cuckoo. Yep.
So can Elon Musk, for the sake of our sanity, I have two thoughts on this. For the sake of our sanity, what is his little space get-up thing where you get in a capsule? Remember, didn't the Star Trek guy?
Yeah, but you can. Here's the problem: you can never see both sides. That's the problem, and they'll tell
but you can see the curvature from up there.
You can, but just because it's curved doesn't mean it's not flat.
Oh.
Today is National Wine Day, which might make you feel a little better about that woman. And just be thankful that she's not our representative. But how does someone with those beliefs get elected anywhere in 2023 in the United States?
Well, so I don't see, again, I could be a flat earther, and I was going to say, well, we never talk about it. We're talking about it right now. But, I don't think she ran, and part of her platform was, and by the way, y'all, I'm going to stop the lying.
Yeah.
We live in a flat earth, okay? So, I'm sure that never came up. Maybe. I'm hoping, for the sake of the intelligence of Georgia, that never came up in the campaign.
It would be better if they found out afterwards. Oh, we elected her and did not realize she was a flat earther.
This woman is bat.
Blank crazy. The Survivor 44 finale was last night. Davey is a huge fan of Survivor.
Wow, 44.
Hello, Davey. How did it end up last night? Who was the big winner of Survival 44? Or Survivor 44?
No clue, because I don't like the show.
Oh, I thought you were a big fan. The winner was one of 3 self-professed misfits. Here's the announcement of the final votes from Survivor 44.
Jam Jam. 4 votes, Jam Jam. 1 vote Heidi.
Jam Jam?
The winner of Survivor 44. Jam Jam. Jam Jam has just won the 44th season.
Jam Jam was the winner, Davey, in case you were wondering.
Well, Jam Jam almost fell off the side of the earth and went boom, boom.
That show is in its 44th season.
That's insane.
And it must be popular enough for people to still watch it. I've not watched it in years. It was a show in the very beginning that we would watch.
It was a unique idea.
After 6 or 7 seasons, I started to get kind of bored with it because it was the same type of thing over and over again, for me anyway. But clearly, it's enough to be out there, and it is. Tina Turner, dubbed the Queen of Rock and Roll, died at her home in Switzerland yesterday. She was 83 years old. I'll play a little audio coming up in a second. We're going to talk to Tanya about her and. Davey will sing more Tina Turner. He's a big, big fan. That is true. Tina Turner gave up her U.S. citizenship and gained citizenship in Switzerland instead. This is why, if you're wondering, why she died in her home in Switzerland. Here, during The Tonight Show back in 2013, Jay Leno joking about her giving up her U.S. citizenship. Here we go.
I was surprised to hear this. Tina Turner has decided to give up her U.S. citizenship. Wow. Yeah. Apparently, she left a good job in the city working for the man every night and day. She never lost a minute of sleep, worrying about the way things might have been. No. But Tina Turner says she still loves America. But what's love got to do with it? It's just a secondhand emotion.
Dubbed the queen of rock and roll. Here's some of her big hits. Davey, get ready. Here we go. Yeah, I don't know. Are you looking up to see what her reason was for leaving the country? And we'll talk to Tanya about it coming up in a second. But yeah, she did leave the United States. She also in the year, I believe, when she was 68, she was on Oprah explaining that she was done performing live in concert. Here we go.
No one ever knew on stage how much I really was tired of singing and dancing. It's work. It's something when you do all of your life, every night, that's all you do. Everyone is having a good time. You're up there working. It just was years and years of work. And if I ever go back for any reason in any way, no one ever wants to see Tina do performance any other way than that. So I don't think they would accept me standing in a wonderful gown singing. That's not me.
She was very active, right?
Yeah,
man,
that's a good
she
point.
performed. She performed like, and then she went through the whole the terrible time that we found out later on with Ike Turner, who was abusive. The movie came out, and we got to see how bad she actually had it. And then here's a little trivia for you: what famous rock ballad was meant to be a Tina Turner song, but was foiled by the record company, who demanded that the rock band who wrote it keep it for themselves? Any idea? Any idea? This, you pray you wouldn't know. But I can tell you it was the band that wrote it for Tina Turner was Whitesnake. And if
Really?
you remember, the song Is This Love was written for Tina Turner, but the record company said, no, you should do it for yourselves, and they basically forced their hand. Here's a little audio on that one.
Is this love?
Goes back to like 1987. Yeah, I guess I could kind of hear Tina Turner singing that, right? That would make a little sense. I could hear that.
So what I'm seeing is some of her happiest moments in my life were the birth of my beautiful baby boys, Craig and Ronnie, and marrying my partner and soulmate, Erwin Bach. So it looks like one of the primary reasons that she moved is because Bach lived there.
Okay, that was her thing. Okay,
or that she had I don't know if they were married, but it was her lover, and he lived in another country, and she wanted to be with him. Why she had to give up her citizenship to do that?
Imagine how amazingly active she was on stage. She's a female version of which artist? Who would you come up with? I mean, think about, she is, no matter how old she got, she was jumping around on stage. She was sweating, her hair flying all over the place. Is there another artist you could think of that was very similar?
Are you talking about...
You're right, Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger. And during Live Aid, that did not go unnoticed that the two of them performed together. Imagine two active characters on stage performing together. It happened in 1985. Here's a little audio from that.
Where's Tina?
Anyway, you can only imagine the activity on stage. She did a ton of stuff. An amazing artist, dead at the age of 83 years old.
Just a comment here, and this comes from Deb this morning. She says, what the heck is the difference between someone who thinks the earth is flat and someone who thinks a man can have a baby? New York State has plenty of elected officials who actually believe that.
I don't think anybody believes that a man can have a baby.
Excuse me?
Yeah. I don't think people believe that. You can't really believe that, right?
I mean, it's kind of considered by some to be offensive to suggest otherwise. And not kind of considered. It's considered to be extremely offensive.
And I don't understand that necessarily, so there's not much I can talk about with it, but there's no one that could actually believe that to be true.
So, but let me ask you, so what's the
physically
difference?
and biologically do it. Well, if there's somebody that really believes a man could have a woman, I guess there wouldn't be a difference. I feel like I'm more delusional thinking I'm going to have a flat stomach, to be honest. I keep working and working at it, but apparently not hard enough, it seems. Here's Bill in New Hartford. Good morning, William.
He's a hidden six-pack. We're just working to uncover the truth.
It's happening, but you know what happens when you think about a six-pack. It goes in the other direction. Bill in New Hartford.
Yeah.
Good
Billy,
morning.
you mentioned Joe Torre is manager, but I got one word for that. 82 is how old is he? He's older than Biden.
You're right. Think about that.
I don't think he'll be manager anymore.
Yeah, you're probably
Good
right.
point.
It could very well have been just a dream on my part, Bill.
Good idea, but
maybe not a good idea. Don't give me credit where it isn't due. All right, William. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and a great Memorial Day weekend. We mentioned temperatures warming up into the 70s to near 80 degrees through the weekend. It'll be 80, it looks like, on Monday, Memorial Day. Looks like a lot of sun. And then a bit of a heat wave coming. By next week, we're going to be looking at temperatures going up into the mid to upper 80s. In a big turn in the temperatures. 6:44, hold on. Willie Waffle coming up in a second here. We'll speak with him a bit early because tomorrow's a day off. We'll look at the streaming, the movies, all of that for Memorial Day weekend as it kicks off the summer movie-going season, which is trying to kickstart. 6:44 at WIBX.
In the June primary, Rome Mayor Jackie Izzo was running to keep steady strategic leadership working for Rome. Like 6 years and counting with no tax increase, $70 million in grant funding, $325 million in public and private sector investment, plus dozens of economic development victories, all while maintaining an A-plus financial rating. Beginning with early voting on June 17th, vote for the only endorsed Republican candidate. Vote Mayor Jackie Izzo for Rome. Leadership that's working. Paid for by friends of Jackie Izzo.
You're invited to the 2023 Glimmerglass Festival, the world-renowned summer opera and musical theater festival located just minutes from Cooperstown. Glimmerglass has been presenting innovative, rare, and familiar works of opera and classic Broadway for nearly 50 years in a summer-long celebration of the arts that's an easy day trip from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley. This year's festival runs July 7th through August 20th, with productions that speak to the aspirations, curiosity, and passions of growing up, and what can happen when life doesn't always play along. Purchase tickets today for Puccini's La Boheme, Bernstein's Candide, Gounod's Romeo and Juliet, Handel's Rinaldo, and a world premiere youth opera. Learn more at glimmerglass.org. The Glimmerglass Festival, a highlight of your summer experiences in the Cooperstown region. Hiking, kayaking, picnicking, museums, and world-class opera and musical theater. Truly a one-of-a-kind summer destination and just a short drive from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley. Join us and see for yourself why there's no place quite like Glimmerglass.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Still working on your hit album, Davey. Davey's Greatest Hits. It's coming. Joe Lone, welcome. Good morning. Made it in here. So we head into
How's everybody doing today?
Go work out this morning?
I did. So, yeah.
Stand by. I'm gonna don't get rambunctious on me. Sad, as we mentioned, Tina Turner passing away, and Tanya J. Powers on the line now from Fox News Radio in New York. Tanya, the queen of rock and roll, they call her.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and rightfully so. I mean, she has such a career and was such a talent. I think that absolutely fits.
So I guess I didn't realize that she had left the country and she was living in, what was it, Switzerland, and had given up, I don't know, she gave up her citizenship, and it was all out of love, I guess, is what we've read.
Yeah, she had been there. She had been living there for quite some time. She actually retired in 2009. I don't know if a lot of people realize that either, but she did that kind of successfully, as a matter of fact, because a lot of times, you hear of, musicians, they say that I'm going to retire, I'm not going to tour anymore, and she actually didn't. That was the last time she, performed publicly. Now, there was, there have been no shortage of Tina related things that have happened after that. In 2019, there was, of course, the Broadway musical that was based on her life. In 2021, that documentary came out about her.
Right.
So, I mean, there's been other things that have sort of kept her, definitely top of mind with some of this stuff. But yeah, I didn't realize she'd retired in 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently had some health issues in later years. Just what a career, though.
Yeah.
I mean, inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice. Once, of course, with the, for Ike and Tina review in 1991 is when they went in for that. And in 2021, she was inducted as a solo artist, by Angela Bassett, actually. Yeah. She was inducted by her, who, of course, played her in What's Love Got to Do with It. So just a huge career.
That's when we really learned how bad it was in the domestic violence she had in her life with Ike Turner. I don't think people really ever knew how bad it was, but that shows you how strong she really was. It's incredible.
Yeah, that was actually something that she revealed in '86 in her autobiography, I, Tina. That's kind of when, we started getting a better idea of just how horrible things had been with him, and how abusive he had been. Just, it's really something what she, kind of where she was at one point, and then the point that she got to with her career, and she blazed a trail for a lot of other women in music history. Her contribution cannot be overstated, in my opinion.
And what is interesting is you never saw Ike Turner go on with some big solo career, but man, did she take off and explode on the charts.
Yes. Yeah. I remember I used to work in music radio in Memphis, and I remember one day, this was back in the, I guess, mid to early 2000s, and I remember there was a man who came into our station, and I remember I was like, he looks familiar. And I asked my coworker, I'm like, wait, who's that? And they were like, oh, that's Ike Turner. I was
wow.
Like, wait, what? Yeah.
That's wild.
And we were just like, but I mean, it was, this was not like a big fanfare. This was not like it was kind of like, if Tina Turner had walked into our station,
right,
I think all of us would have just hit the floor, and there would have been like an entourage and people and stuff. But it just shows you, there was quite the difference in the two after that.
And I thought you could just wrap it up by talking about this. Even though she left the United States and moved to Switzerland, she said she still loved America, but what's love got to do with it? No?
Not even Tanya's laughing at that one.
I don't even have a response to that.
All right, I stole it from Jay Leno. But still, I mean, it just shows you Jay Leno could have done better than that. Maybe it was my delivery, Tanya. Maybe it was my delivery.
Just, workshop that a little bit, maybe.
I will. I like that. I'm gonna workshop it. Listen, a legend, and very sad to see her pass at the age of 83. Mm-hmm. So, all right, Tanya, have a wonderful holiday weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You too.
Tanya G. Powers from Fox News. I felt like the silence was.
You could have did something like, she went to Switzerland, but she left the United States because we don't need another hero.
Ah, okay. All right.
Joe.
You should write for Leno. Good morning, Joe Load. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on this morning? A surprise visit this morning.
I just thought I'd pop in because I was up. I went to the gym and all that. It's back to this workout thing. But I'm down like last Friday, it was 2 weeks into it. We're doing a 6-week Take Back Your Life challenge again for the whole NIME group. They got this thing going. So I down 16 pounds in 2 weeks.
Good for
as
you.
of last Friday, but
Nice.
I hopefully will hit the 20-pound mark when they weigh me in Tuesday. But yeah.
Through the holiday weekend, you think you're going to keep
no, I
losing?
haven't been drinking, and I've been sticking to it. It's tough, but what are you going to do? You know, I have no friends, so I'm not going out anywhere. I got a lot of lawn work to do, and
that's the tough one, right?
Meanwhile, what will Utica Club do? I don't
man.
know how they'll survive this.
Oh, they're surviving. Don't worry. They're buying up breweries across America.
What do you think of that? They Flying Dog.
Yeah, I
brewery
mean, they were brewing
purchased.
most of their beers anyway, or their beverages. So I
They
mean,
were,
they're becoming what Fred said he wanted to be, the largest contract brewery in America. But you know, hey, how about some UC Light?
The Joe cannot help but criticize. Listen, you're their biggest fan, but their biggest critic whenever you go at it.
Because, you know, Bill, in order to be great, you have to have people along the way pointing out your faults so you can improve upon them.
Okay, don't surround yourself with yes people.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if he that's what he likes, a lot of yes people around him, but that's all right.
Whoa.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I just think that he needs to come out with the Stein.
All right.
The Barber Stein.
Yes.
Okay, flat top the Barber. We don't have a Barber Stein. They used to scrape the foam flat top the Barber. No, but instead we make pumpkins and ghosts and goblins. I mean, I don't get it.
There are many, and believe
And
me.
I'm sorry, I'm still bent over the trolley thing, but I'll get over it someday.
Here's the problem, Joe. It's kind of like, it's funny we just talked about this. This is an odd segue. Are you a real man? Right?
Be a real man. Drink lager.
Well, no, but what I mean is this. He's a real fan. He doesn't need the gimmick of a Halloween Stein.
No.
He doesn't need all these fruity flavors.
Right.
He doesn't. He's the basic, the core thing. He loves it for what it is.
Yeah.
He gets annoyed with all these other things where they try to, expand their base.
Right, you like the Reese's peanut butter cup. Don't add M&Ms to it. What's wrong with you?
No, that's ridiculous.
Right?
It is. It's
you
ridiculous.
want it, and it's purity. You want that
Yes.
pure, yeah.
I did a poor job of
they
explaining.
did some things over the years that I thought were great, and they discontinued them.
Meanwhile, Joe is a huge fan of shandy.
I know.
Which is putting lemonade in beer.
Yes.
Well, that's summertime.
It doesn't make sense.
It's a summer brew. Dear
Like,
God.
If it works, it works. If it doesn't,
It's
it doesn't.
sold.
That
Hello.
is-
I mean, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out if it sells. Keep making it.
It did sell. So,
Don't get me wrong. I love the brewery. What they
I
did
know
with the
you do.
beer garden, what they've done
That
with
beer garden is
incorporating
beautiful.
people
That
to go
is-
to the tavern and
Yeah.
eat. The gift shop is all remodeled now because of a broken pipe or whatever. But I mean, listen,
and
they're
the expansion over there has
they're
been
doing great.
huge.
Don't get me wrong. I still have to be a critic. I love them. I
Yeah.
do love them.
I know you
But
do.
sometimes I get so worked
Well,
up
it's
over
because
it.
you want them to do what you want them to do.
I just want
And
to hit the lottery, and
and-
then maybe I could buy a part of it. And then
That'll never happen. I don't think they would allow it. You'd have to do
they'd be
a
like, Joe, there's no way.
takeover type.
No, I'd have to buy the shares.
But I do think that the purchase of this brewery in Maryland makes them puts them into the top 10 of craft breweries in the United States.
Yeah, and again, I think that was his goal all along. He wanted
Yeah.
to be the largest contract brewery in America, which
Well,
is
this
great.
is the top 10 craft brewery.
Yeah, that too. It's great. Don't get me wrong. I don't dislike the brewery. I wear the Schultz and Dooley on the arm. Okay.
He's looking
I
at it
had
as,
I had my first Utica club when I was 8 years old. Do I have to get into the story again? My grandfather.
I'm going to bring you up on YouTube.
Are you going to show my arm across
I'm gonna
America?
Show your arm. There's you
people
are.
in Florida watching. There it is.
Okay.
Now
There
this
it is.
logo was on the bottle of unopened beer that I have that
It's
FX
completely
Matt
out
II.
of focus, by the way.
FX Matt II autographed the bottle, had this label, and that's why I went with this one.
Well, that's beautiful, Joe. It's very nice.
Yeah.
Now it's perfect.
Look
You
at
got a
that.
Great
And
shot.
this artwork was from the late Phelps. Phelps
Yeah.
did that tattoo.
You know, the Steins never had hair all over them, though.
Well, sorry. Yeah, I know. Saved my arms, but I'm Italian. What are you going to do? I still got my winter sweater on.
So, so you had good news recently about about
good
your
news.
cancer.
I was cleared for my 6-month thing, which is great. I just feel bad for the people out there again that are not getting the good news. You know, and I don't know why, Bill, but I have this guilty feeling like I made it and somebody else isn't. You know?
Yeah, you can't think like that.
I know.
Don't.
It just bothers me that I have a good friend, 52, and he's not doing so well. So it just sucks. That's all.
Well, it does, but you know that nothing in the world is fair at all.
Get it? I get that.
You know, so, and I like to think about the fact that so I had cancer and got over it, and the way I've certainly lived my life, I think about I do not deserve to get over this. Yeah. Whereas you see a child, it's a terrible thing to look at.
That's the worst part. Is these kids they haven't even lived yet. I feel like if I could trade mine for theirs, that would be something.
Well, somehow we make all the sense in the world when we say God has a plan. I don't know what the hell that plan is, but that's what they'll say. So
he's sitting up in the heavens, looking down at this flat planet,
saying, "Yes, we need your load."
Where are we getting back with the flat thing?
Well, that was the precursor to our can men have babies question.
You're not a flat earther.
No.
But you're a survivalist. So you do think the world's going to be
Listen, if it comes to that point,
get off the grid
if it comes
fast.
to that point, then I'm ready.
Well, so hold on. Again, there's a
He's
difference
a bunker
here.
in his backyard.
No, I don't have a bunker.
There's nuance. There's nuance,
I'll
right?
travel to the woods.
It's a big hole in the ground.
You believe that the end of days are coming, or if the end of days come, you want to be prepared.
Yeah, I want to be prepared.
Yeah, it's the second thing.
I think that's probably not a
I will.
bad
I've been
idea.
told by my friends that are more Christian, and they say as long as you believe in God, you're fine. You'll make it to paradise. The end of the world comes if you read the Bible and
well, you're a good
Judgment
Catholic
Day.
guy.
Yeah, no, I don't go to church because I don't like my priest. But anyway, that's a different story. No, the one priest I like retired, and then I get caught up with this guy, and I don't like him. So if you don't like something, you're not going to go. So
All right.
sorry.
Well, we're
just
learning so much here
I'll
this
talk
morning.
to God on my own time. Okay?
Yeah, that's
so
smart.
it is what it is. I don't
Yeah.
need to go to and again, I've had a past in my family with Catholic priests that
You
is
have.
not stellar, let's say. Okay.
Your dad actually was on the air a long time ago talking about what he had gone through, and I believe, though, was he able to sue? I believe that
they keep brushing him under the rug, and keep saying the statute of limitations. Listen, there's still priests that are out there that are pedophiles, and the statute of limitations should be this. They should all be taken out and castrated and thrown away, not moved from church to church to church to keep doing destruction in people's lives.
Not to cut you off because I'm afraid of what you're going to say, but I do have news coming up.
Okay.
Listen,
it brought to you by anybody
on
today?
the statute that statute of limitations? New York has changed that.
Yeah, I know. He has people working on it, but it's. I think my father.
I have a bunch of comments. We're going to get to all that coming up, and who knows what.
See what you did, Deb? I mean, come on.
Joe is going to say here. WIBX, Utica, Rome. It's 7 o'clock.
He's the newest runner in the presidential race. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
No excuses. I will get the job done.
He announced on Twitter in an event with Elon Musk and a moderator, but it didn't go well. There were glitches and long delays.
All right, sorry about that. We've got so many people here that I think we are kind of melting the servers.
Then the Republican governor went on Fox
to say his handling of COVID and his taking on school curriculum issues proves his conservative credentials.
We chose facts over fear when it wasn't popular. We chose education over indoctrination. And we've chosen law and order over rioting and disorder. If we can do it there, we can do it for the country.
DeSantis adds President Biden is choosing to make Americans suffer.
That's Fox's Evan Brown. Now, former President Trump called the DeSantis campaign rollout a disaster. He remains the Republican frontrunner by far. A new Fox News poll gives Trump 53% support among GOP voters. DeSantis second at 20%. No other candidate gets 5%. In Uvalde, Texas, a vigil 1 year after the elementary school massacre of 19 students and 2 teachers. And while the investigation continues into the slow law enforcement response, it took more than an hour to kill the shooter. President Biden again took aim at guns.
You can't end this epidemic until Congress passed some common sense gun safety laws that keep weapons of war off our streets and out of the hands of dangerous people.
There's still no dead limit deal between the president and House Republicans. Fox's Jared Halpern's at the White House.
Negotiators from the White House and Speaker Kevin McCarthy's office changed venues, meeting here instead of the Capitol on Wednesday.
There's a number of places that we are still far apart.
McCarthy says spending next year cannot be more than this year, and a clean debt limit won't get a vote.
Though House Democrats keep pushing for that, a week before the Treasury Secretary warns the U.S. could default unless we borrow more money. America's listening to Fox News.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-645-3530 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-645-3530. That's 800-645-3530. What do you have to lose? Call 800-645-3530. Again, 800-645-3530.
We have some sunshine, and I mean more than having Joe Lode in studio. 41 degrees, WIBX News.
By the way, there's a huge sale at Price Chopper on Bud Light going on through Sunday. There is.
In fact, they're giving it away from what I hear.
No, it's like you get a whole case for, I don't know, $6.99 or something. I could be dead wrong, but I think that's where we're just talking about the controversies of beer. But we should switch to what we know is true, and that is the news coming from the mouth of Jeff Manaske. Good morning, Jeff.
So well done. Now
Good morning.
Can't disagree the whole rest of the morning. We have some sunshine and 41 degrees. It is 7:03, Bill. New York City officials say that plans to send migrants from the Big Apple to Onondaga County are suspended. A plan was in the works to send migrants to the Candlewood Suites Syracuse Airport Hotel, which is located in the town of Salina, but that transfer is now on hold until legal challenges filed by the town and county can be resolved in court. A tractor trailer had to be towed out of a creek in Oneida County. The truck had just come down a steep hill on Red Hill Road in Chadwicks and crossed over Oneida Street yesterday before it passed by a home and crashed into the Sequoia Creek. Wednesday afternoon's accident left the driver of the rig injured. He was transported via ambulance to an area hospital with injuries considered to be non-life-threatening. It's unclear if the truck's brakes had failed or what may have caused the driver to lose control. The truck is affiliated with Estes Freight Shipping based in East Syracuse. The accident remains under investigation, and you can find photos of that truck in the creek at WIBX950.com. A Madison County woman is in some serious trouble with the law after being accused of trying to steal 6 Sheriff's Department vehicles. Deputies say that 37-year-old Sarah Arnston attempted to take patrol cars from the Madison County Complex parking lot. She was arrested when someone called 911 and reported there was a suspicious person in their driveway on Daniels Drive in Wamsville. Arnston now faces multiple charges in connection with that incident. New York State Department of Health planning to repeal the COVID-19 mandate for healthcare workers. The mandate was put in place back in 2001 and required that healthcare workers be fully vaccinated to help slow the spread of the illness. But over 30,000 workers either quit or were fired for refusing to get the vaccine. Guidance involving this change will be sent out to healthcare facilities and hospitals statewide in the next few days. Well, the allegation is that 3 women having a little ladies' night celebration went into a local liquor store, stole 4 bottles totaling $300, and then came back the next night and did it again. We spoke with the owner of Seneca Wine and Liquor, Greg Gurria. He says they came in the store. I talked to him last night. He said yesterday they came in the store and stole 4 bottles. Then they came back again today and stole the same 4 bottles. And outside cameras, he said, captured their vehicle and license plate, so the police are investigating. He also told WIBX 950, let's put it this way, they've got good taste. They like expensive tequila. He also explains that he called local liquor stores, his competition, to warn them that the crooks may be on their way to his store. You can find the photo and read more about it right now on our website at WIBX950.com. I apologize here. I'm going off memory because my computer crashed, so If I sound like I don't know what I'm saying, it's because I'm piecing it together. We're going to piece together a nice forecast this holiday weekend. Here's the full details.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center today. Some patchy frost in rural outlying areas early, then a good deal of sunshine. Breezy, cooler, high 63. Tonight, clear, cool, low of 37. And tomorrow, mostly sunny, not as cool, high of 67. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
We have some sunshine, 41 degrees, WIBX News Time, 7:07.
In sports, the Florida Panthers are advancing to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time since 1996. Florida knocked off the Carolina Hurricanes 4-3 behind a game-winning goal from Matthew Tkachuk in the closing seconds of regulation. The Panthers swept the Eastern Conference Final in 4 games after entering the playoffs as the lowest seed in the East. Florida will battle either Vegas Golden Knights or Dallas Stars in this year's Stanley Cup Final. The Golden Knights lead the West Final 3-0 as they go in for the sweep in Game 4 tonight in Dallas. The Boston Celtics are aiming to extend the Eastern Conference Finals once again. Boston will host Miami Heat for Game 5 at TD Garden. The Celtics staved off elimination with a statement game 116-199 victory in Game 4 on Tuesday night. The winner of the East will take on the Western Conference champion Denver Nuggets in the NBA Finals, which will start on June 1st. The Orioles came from behind to even their series against the Yankees at a game apiece after earning a 9-6 win in the Bronx. Jimmy Cordero was tagged with the loss after allowing 4 runs in the third of an inning of relief. And for the Mets, they dropped back-to-back games after falling 4-2 to the Cubs in Chicago. Kadai Senga was charged with the loss after striking out 6 and allowing 3 runs over 5 innings of works. I'm Devin Furbo, and that's for sports for WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Hot Tubs. It's about time you treat yourself to a luxurious new spa from Strong Spas. Visit their huge showroom and choose from over 100 spas in stock and priced to move fast. This summer, get ready to relax. You deserve a brand new spa from Strong Spas. Visit their ginormous showroom inside Sangertown Square, New Hartford. Special financing available for credit qualified buyers. Strong Spas. Experience the difference for yourself. Hurry, these spas won't last.
At AmeriQ, we know how important it is for your business to run smoothly. After all, your customers mean everything to you. That's why we're here, to connect you with the deposits, loans, and easy cash management tools you need, so you can spend less time managing your finances and more time connecting with your customers. AmeriQ and you, let's connect. Visit ameriq.org/business to get started. Membership eligibility required. Insured by NCUA.
I'm Sal and Sarah.
And I'm Sam Rudolph from Insera's Flooring Outlet.
We want to say how grateful we are for your continued business with Insera's.
It means a great deal to us that you, our loyal customers, buy your flooring from us, a local business.
Insera's Flooring Outlet has over 30 years of floor covering experience, so you get reliable advice and expert service.
You get the area's largest inventory in stock at Insera's. A vast selection of hardwoods, top-quality carpet, gorgeous ceramic tile, durable LVP, waterproof laminate, and vinyl. The best in floor covering.
Bring in any advertised price on floor covering, and Insera's Flooring Outlet will meet or beat the deal.
Qualified buyers always get 6 months interest-free financing. We have your installation covered, and we will estimate your project at no charge.
So thank you from Insera's.
See why more people buy from the big store, Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and InserasFlooringOutlet.com.
Are you ready to make the most important decision for your child's future? Some are easy, some are not. Some make all the difference, like choosing Notre Dame schools. Offering grades pre-K through 12, your child will be ready to learn and thrive in a challenging atmosphere surrounded by great teachers and the most current technology. Notre Dame offers small class sizes, high academic standards, and spiritual fulfillment. At Notre Dame, we foster an environment of diversity and community. Students feel supported and more confident in achieving their goals. Our students learn from each other and are challenged to grow and develop their innate talents. Notre Dame is faith-based, but everyone is welcome. If you have higher expectations for your child, Notre Dame offers a higher level experience. If you're ready to launch your child's future into the most successful career path and build the next generation of leaders, call today for a tour or visit NotreDameUtica.org. Notre Dame schools ready to learn, destined to lead.
Mountain Man Outdoor Supply is excited to announce the return of the 22nd annual Adirondack Paddle Fest. After a 3-year hiatus, this highly anticipated event will return to Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company on Route 28 in Old Forge, Saturday and Sunday, June 3rd and 4th. Show hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Sunday. There will be over 3 dozen top manufacturers and more than 1,000 canoes, kayaks, and SUPs from leading manufacturers, as well as hundreds of accessories to choose from. Representatives and designers will be on hand to help you decide what's best for your paddling needs. The wait is over. The Adirondack Paddle Fest is back. Join us Riverside, June 3rd and 4th at Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company. Come kick off summer at the Adirondack Paddle Fest. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all your local outdoor needs.
I can't take this kitchen any longer. Carl, we need to start looking for a new house.
Honey, you know the housing market is tight. It's going to be next to impossible to find something that we like.
I know, but this kitchen has to go.
Hey, what about a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank? We can turn the equity from our home into cash to renovate, just the way you want.
Renovate?
Adirondack Bank has competitive rates, and they've been a trusted community bank for decades.
A new kitchen. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the deck, even add a pool, and take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about.
Whoa, slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank about that home equity loan. Then we can decide where to start.
I've always wanted to add on a craft room, and our bathroom needs a facelift.
Don't move. Improve. Stop into your local Adirondack Bank branch for more information on a home equity loan or visit AdirondackBank.com. Bank local with Adirondack Bank, your hometown community bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Are you a licensed master social worker with a passion for making a difference in the lives of others? Do you have a desire to work in a supportive and compassionate environment? If so, hospice and palliative care may have the perfect opportunity for you. They are currently seeking a licensed master social worker to join their team. As a hospice social worker, you'll provide emotional support, counseling, and resources to patients and their families during a difficult time in their lives. You will work with their clinical team to develop and implement care plans, advocate for the patient's needs, and ensure that they receive the highest quality care. At Hospice, they believe that everyone deserves compassionate and dignified end-of-life care, and they are committed to providing their patients the support they need during this challenging time. To learn more about this exciting opportunity, visit their website at hospicecareinc.org or call today.
Hospice and palliative care. When you need us most.
Talk about the Omni Surgery Center. If you have pain, severe pain, there is help. We're speaking about Dr. Hyder and the Omni Surgical Center of Utica. And I was there just recently, and people in the facility with a great deal of pain, from back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain. And these are people that are just looking for relief. And Dr. Hyder strategizes and comes up with non-invasive and less invasive procedures that eliminate the pain. Call them today. You do not have to live with the pain. 315-765-8448, where modern technology meets cutting-edge surgery. It's the Omni Surgery Center with Dr. Hyder. Call 315-765-8448. If you have severe pain and you need it to go away, you have tried everything and nothing has worked, there is an option. Go to killpain.com, killpain.com. Dr. Hyder, the Omni Surgery Center at 315-765-8448, where modern technology meets cutting-edge surgery.
WIDX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay, I have a lot of comments here, mostly on Joe, and most of them are offensive. So you can take this, Mike, here.
Mostly offensive?
Well, not really.
Oh, okay.
Not really. Wayne this morning, this is about the flat earthers, Joe. You're not a flat earth person. No.
It's round.
Ridiculous. I look back, I look around Utica, says Wayne. I look around Utica and see roads, and potholes, and more potholes. They're trying to brainwash us into thinking we live on the moon. That's a good one.
That's the comment of the day, Wayne. That's excellent.
That's a goodie. Because okay, I got that. Some of these comments, wow, they're awesome. This is one of my absolute favorite moments on the show. This is Mike. One of my absolute favorite moments on the show was when Joe showed up when Nick Matt was on the program. Nick's reaction was priceless. I wish I had that clip right now. And then Mike also said it's interesting that Survivor's been around this long. It's also interesting it was created, and this is absolutely true. It was created. Why? Why was Survivor created?
Survivor was created because they did a similar show in a different country and it had a limited amount of success.
Survivor was created because in America we were going through a writer's strike. That's what started it, and it's still going. How many? What is this season number?
44.
Wow,
unbelievable!
I gave up after that guy that won, spent all his money, and then got thrown in jail.
Yes, remember that
from the first season. I think.
I don't remember that. I never watched the show.
The winner, yes, it's true. Mike says the winner was Jam. Second place, Petroleum Jelly. So I just say the
they have a disclaimer.
The listeners
on that
are
now.
wonderful here. Yeah.
We had that whole thing. Somebody sued them because they put petroleum jelly on toast, and now there's a disclaimer on it saying that this is not
there really?
edible. Oh, yeah. There was a lawsuit. One of those frivolous ones like McDonald's.
I don't know how those. Well, that woman was really burned. Though.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I mean,
There
was a. It was that was a legitimate ret.
Yeah.
It's funny because that story became a news story, and we all around in the media and talk shows and even on late night, the Lenos and Lettermans of the world, they were all making jokes about this.
Right.
But that coffee had been improperly set to almost boiling. And when it came, it burned the woman. She dropped it on her lap, and she had severe burns that were debilitating all over her. So,
but it sparked everything.
I understand, but what I'm saying, though, is that was a legitimate lawsuit. Okay. Now, putting petroleum jelly on your toast.
It says jelly.
To be honest with you, if I'm Vaseline, I'd be suing the moron that did that.
Yeah.
Like, you gave us a bad name. We're suing you for it. But no, they get away with this stuff. And the companies fear having to deal with it in court for years and years.
Right,
And all the
they'll
legal
settle
fees.
whatever.
They just throw them money.
Here's some money.
And that becomes the scam. It's terrible.
Yeah, you see it all over TV now. I mean, I've talked to people from Camp Lejeune. They don't have problems with the water, I already said. He said they're fine.
Okay. Are you done?
Yeah. I'll see you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Joe. Let me squeeze in a comment from our app. Although I think Davey said we just took a call during the news there where somebody was trying to send us, because you're in studios, send us some old pictures of Utica Club. And they were going to send them to us via the app. If I get them here, I'll send them to you. But Bob in Yorkville commenting via the app, he's asking this because this might be one of those things where you think you remember something, but it wasn't actually how it played out. He says, do I remember? Ike and Tina Turner opening for Billy Preston at the Utica Odd in 1972.
Wow. Well,
did that happen?
I was 7, and I have no idea. To be
could have.
honest. It might have.
Bill, what's age got to do with
What's age got to do with it?
I mean, there's been stranger things. Billy Carter and Boonville. So,
That's right.
I mean, there you go. You never know.
And Joe and I are so similar because we love local history and local memorabilia. So Joe came on the air. Remember, we're talking. You got me to actually promote the Boonville Fest, and we promoted it. And then
it turned into a story.
Got into the whole thing about Billy Carter coming up there and getting arrested. People were calling in and remembered it. Now, most people would react to that by saying something like, "Oh, that's really awesome. Let me go on with my normal day."
Yeah.
Joe and I became obsessed and dug into the rabbit hole called eBay, and we were buying up. At one point, we didn't know it.
We were
This
bidding
was so
against
funny.
each
We were
other.
bidding against each other on an item, and Joe. So Joe called up and was like, "You're not going to believe it, but I got the program. I was able to, or whatever it was. I bought it off eBay." I'm like, "You're the one."
That is so funny.
And it had a picture autographed by Billy
Can
Carter
you believe
in
it? Actually, we both got the program. I got another one. The guy had another one. So I bought it. He bought it. He paid less than I paid. Okay. The owner of the program, where was he from? It was somewhere here in New York.
You're
Albany.
Yeah, Amsterdam. Yeah.
Apparently didn't know, and inside Joe's program, the guy must not have known, but there was an autographed 8x10 of Billy Carter.
Wow.
From the event.
Yeah.
It's like somebody took the photo, had it developed, and then had him sign it.
After the fact.
Yeah. And then there was also like a poster folded up inside about all the events.
I remember this.
happening.
You guys brought him in, right?
But I didn't get any of that stuff.
No, I got the bonus.
He had
and I paid
all
less.
that stuff. I ended up paying more for mine. So, all right.
If you need tips on bargain hunting, then just
you're
give me a
the
call.
guy. All right, Joe.
Hey, have a great day, everyone.
Enjoy this beautiful weekend after the next 12, 24 hours.
I have to mention this. Joe, I actually want to do a story with you about bargain hunting. But speaking of bargain hunting, our world's largest yard sale is coming up here. Town Square Media will be, we've already announced the details on it, but it's coming up, of course, at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds on Saturday, June 3rd. That's next weekend.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, the world's largest yard sale. Gates open at 8 a.m. at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds in Frankfort. There's all kinds of stuff. There's brand new stuff, used stuff. You might find old collectible magazines, things that people would throw out otherwise that you might be interested in. Joe Shaky, you want to plug something?
No, but I might see you there.
Remember when we used to collect the Wheaties boxes? That was a waste. I just threw all them out. And now, by the way, for those who have Wheaties boxes, don't throw yours out. Because if I threw mine out, it means they're going to be valuable. Trust me. Believe me.
World's largest yard sale, 8 to 3, next Saturday, June 3rd, at the Herkimer County Fairgrounds. It is a really cool event. You find such a variety of stuff because we have so many vendors. There's nothing there you can't find.
What's beautiful about this event is you have, how many vendors are there?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I think it's over 200.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean,
I just posted it on my Facebook page. I think it's over 200. Now, it's kind of like when you go to one of those neighborhood garage sales and everybody's holding a garage sale.
Right.
It's all in one location and you're just going from sale to sale to sale. That's what it's like. It's almost like a mini Bouckville of just novice garage sale people, not antique dealers, but so you never know what kind of deal you're going to get. And it is next weekend, next Saturday. And I'm telling you, people come from all over for this thing. It's huge.
And just to make a reference to, I guess,
it's
the show
huge, Tom.
Earlier in this week, and we keep throwing in movie lines, song lines. I'll throw in a movie line. The world's largest yard sale is like a box of chocolates. You never know what kind of a deal you're going to get.
There you go.
Like
Very
that.
nice, Mr.
We'll
Gump.
put a bow on that, and we can finally move on.
I don't know if that's possible, but we'll try. It's a Utica thing. Kitchen and Bar is now open if you've not been there. I was sitting somewhere just last night, and they were all talking in another restaurant. They were all talking about it's a Utica thing. What do you think of it? Wow, the food's really good. I like the bar. I like the setting. It's comfortable. It is. It's the old Charlie's Pizza. But it's completely gutted and completely done over. It's beautiful. 350 Leland Avenue, Utica, and the big side of the Big Lots Plaza. They're open, here you go, for Memorial Day weekend. They're open today 4 till 10, tomorrow 4 till 10, Saturday 12 till 10, and Sunday 1 till 8. The menu is awesome. Everything from It's a Utica Thing, greens and tomato pie and pastas, homemade pastas. I say homemade, made right there in their kitchen, and you can taste the difference, along with steaks and seafood and everything else. A full bar. It's a Utica Thing Kitchen and Bar, 315-738-8946 if you'd like to make a reservation. In studio right now, Dr. Zielinski and Dr. Shomolensky from the Falcon Clinic. Guys, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So that was Joe. Did you get to meet Joe? Joe is like a bowl of energy. And that's what we're talking about today, is a bowl of energy, ADHD, right? Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Good morning.
So, first of all, can we talk about the medicines that many people around for ADHD are just now starting to become available again? It's caused huge problems. They'll tell you that these medicines aren't addictive at all, but everybody that had to go off it seemed to be dealing with some really difficult withdrawal. I'll start with you, Dr. Shomolensky.
Yeah, there are a lot of reasons there for why a lot of these medications there have, there's like a supply chain issue. Where they come from is one of the things. Some of the things, quality control issues, and some of the pharmaceutical companies on their production line and so forth. So it's not just one thing. Everybody thinks the boat from China or India hasn't gotten here. It's not really that simple.
Yeah.
But you're right. We've had a bunch of people who we've had to change their medication if they were being treated for ADD or ADHD. And some of them, surprisingly, have done quite well with some of the alternate medications. And that also leads me to the thing is, I know we always talk the medical model of, having a diagnosis and therefore what is the pill, what is the medication. And I know Dr. Zielinski and I, as osteopathic physicians, we look at people as a diamond. They're valuable. And I use the word facet. They're different facets of who they are. And in fact, Dr. Zielinski and I were just talking a little bit about that along with medications that not every person needs, there are other parts of the facet, other approaches, to the AD and ADHD. And I wonder if you would give your thoughts on that, Dr. Zielinski.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you know, the Falcon Clinic, we're an holistic osteopathic primary care office. So some other adjuncts that we offer to patients for treatment of ADHD are osteopathic manipulation. Particularly craniosacral manipulation is really known for inducing a sense of well-being and relaxation, which obviously people with ADHD can benefit from. Dr. Kosminski in our office does acupuncture that accomplishes similar things depending on where he puts the needles. And I think that we always emphasize to these patients, probably even more so than the general populace, medication might be to your benefit, counseling might be to your benefit, but it's also very important to get good nutrition, good hydration, good sleep. Good sleep hygiene, making sure you're going to bed, waking up about the same time each day, not watching a ton of TV, getting a ton of blue light exposure, and things of that nature tend to really, really help these people, independent of medication even. And it's also interesting that a lot of people with ADHD have a tendency to gravitate toward jobs that are highly stimulating where they might not need their medication at all, just the environment that they're in is conducive to the way that they think. I know that I had a fair number of colleagues when I was in medical school who had ADHD, and if I say 90% of them went into emergency medicine, that might be an underestimate, but if you think about the typical ER, that's actually a good environment with someone with an ADHD brain because it's chaotic. You tend to not spend too much time on one particular task for too long. There are things beeping and so on and so forth. And a lot of them are doing very well.
Every ADHD person, because I feel like I certainly have a degree of it, or so I've been told. You have a lot of projects that just haven't been quite finished, which is what I feel. Here's the perfect ADHD situation. This is why people with ADHD are the geniuses of the world. But they know enough to have someone behind them to finish up what they started so that they can go on to the next thing. And then behind you, there's somebody finishing that project. The other part is you talk about a job that's perfect for it. I just yesterday had somebody saying, Jeff was trying to go on with something and you cut him off and he went to the next topic. I said, that's just me. and that's that ADHD, because I just want to keep things moving. So I do think it works for a you don't want a slow moving show. You want to have it continuously moving. So
well, you do. Yeah. Well, but you do have different types of ADD or ADHD. Especially
I'm assuming severity is a
big thing, because we all have elements where our mind is racing too fast. We don't finish certain projects there. We cut people off too soon. We get bored on one topic and we want to get to another topic right away. And then there are the I don't mean to be derogatory, but space cadets. Like kids, for example, that will just kind of stare, out the window there, and you might think of them having some type of epilepsy, and there's a misdiagnosis there.
Right.
But actually, that's the attentive form of attention deficit
a different
disorder,
form of it. Yeah.
And that's more in girls. And
so it needs
I never knew that.
It really needs treatment then.
Yes.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, and some of the boys there, boys, they say will be boys. Well, I'm going to tell the world out there, boys will be boys.
Right.
And there are differences in some of the energies with some of these kids. And it's not that they have ADHD. Some of them are just acting out, and maybe they're just bored or they're frustrated.
Right.
Or they have ADHD.
Right.
So you need to have a proper diagnosis. And then there's combined. You have boys and girls who have, sometimes they zone out, and other times they're just active. They can't finish a task. They can't think of one thing. And sometimes they're tearing a house apart.
Right.
So it depends on a diagnosis and the severity of the problem.
What do you say to a parent or a grandparent right now? The school has come back and said, we think your child needs, constantly getting in trouble or getting up or whatever, not paying attention. A lot of times it tends to be boys, but it can be girls as well. What do you say to parents who've been hit with that?
Is it okay if I take that one? So kind of like Dr. Shimoleski was getting at, we totally understand your concern, but we want to make sure that your child gets the care that they need. They very well may have ADHD, but it's good, like for any medical condition, do a thorough workup, have a differential. Make sure you're ruling out other things, because there are a lot of ADHD mimics out there.
Yeah.
Does the kid have a thyroid disorder? And then if that's the case, Adderall or whatnot is not going to help them. Do they have a learning disability independent of ADHD? Do they have lead poisoning? Have all of these things been ruled out?
What about nurture? What about upbringing? Does that play a role, or is it?
Yeah,
because easily somebody could say, "Well, the kid misbehaves, so they must be ADHD."
Just like so many things, genetics. We can't change that unless you change your parents. You can't.
Right.
So genetics gives you a predisposition. And then beyond that, there's the environment. I think that study is called epigenetics. What is the effect of the environment, which would include things like upbringing by parents or other significant others in the family, but also diet, for example. Because we're learning little by little that our microbiome in our intestines, or what we call, about our second brain, if you will, with the different neuroreceptors that are in the brain are also in the gut. So depending on how healthy we eat and all that other stuff can have an effect on how the genetics of somebody with ADD or ADHD comes out. So absolutely, it's a multifactorial thing.
So there's a lot of different things that can be done. Medicine might be a part of that.
Yeah.
What have the medicines gotten better?
So I don't have quite as much experience as Dr. Shimoleski does on this topic, but I think that there are some newer drugs out there. Like I know Strattera is a big one that we've been using quite a bit, because there's not a shortage of it, and it's also not controlled. It doesn't seem to have quite the same addictive properties as Adderall and Ritalin and some of the other medications out there. I think that there are good medications out there for it, but the most critical thing, like Dr. Shimoleski said, was, and I echo, is getting the correct diagnosis, because certain medications tend to work better for certain subtypes of ADHD. And you also want to make sure, again, that the child or the adult does, in fact, have ADHD, that you're not misdiagnosing them, or they don't have a comorbid diagnosis like depression or anxiety or whatnot that also needs to be addressed. That you're treating the patient holistically and you're getting the whole picture.
Just finding doctors that you trust, really.
Absolutely.
And you feel are qualified I'll tell you one brief story, and I know Jeff we have a comment on the line. I remember taking my kids into a doctor many years ago, and he had a questionnaire, and he said, fill out the questionnaire, and then I'm going to come in and it was like 8 questions, and you know, has the kid gotten in trouble? Does he finish his homework? Whatever, going through the whole thing.
Sure.
And he came in and said, "Yep, ADHD. What I'd suggest is we're going to move with medication." We're like, wait a minute, with 8 questions, I filled out this 8-question form, and automatically, you know that. Talk about that if you could. And by the way, on the way out, he said, and I think you have it too. He's talking to me.
So one of the things that you have to be careful of with those forms is they are helpful, and we should absolutely use them, but they're meant to be used as screening tools. They're not meant to be a knee-jerk reaction. You know, if you score this much, you get this diagnosis in this pill. You score this much, you get this diagnosis in this pill. It's very, very important, and in today's day and age where healthcare professionals are so busy, it's challenging. I'm not saying it's not.
Yep.
But it's very important to holistically look at the whole picture, and say, okay, yes, we have the score, but how does this fit into the grand scheme of things with how the kid's behaving at home, behaving at school? And one thing that I would definitely, ask, any patients that are thinking about coming to us for evaluation of possible ADHD. Is please be patient with us. We want to help you, but we also want to make sure that we do this right. Because if we don't give you the correct diagnosis, plus or minus get you on the correct medication, correct treatment plan, it's not going to be to your benefit when all is said and done.
Add to that, or that?
Yeah. I guess the challenges for me, first of all, I have patients that come in who are diagnosed with ADHD and are on certain medications, dextroamphetamine, Ritalin, and so forth, and they just want to stay on that medicine. And it's not unreasonable if they've had good effects.
Right.
But one patient I'm thinking of was diagnosed as a child, then for years didn't have it, and came back and wanted to be put on medication. I had them looked over, by a psychologist, and they agreed. And so we talked about medicine. He's doing very well.
Yeah.
The other thing, though, is Dr. Google. And what happens is, again,
great guy.
I have another patient, and
tracks me everywhere I go.
Exactly. And she had, I think, seen a film on ADHD and came in and was demanding, look, I have ADHD. And she went through these different things of hyperactivities, being totally disorganized, starting a project, couldn't finish it, talking fast, interrupting people on things, and different mood changes, et cetera, et cetera. And I got to be put on this medication. And that puts the doctor in a difficult situation, but actually not, because, okay, that's a challenge. All right, let's either prove or disprove that you actually have this.
Right.
And so that means going for a diagnosis on there.
All right. Jeff, I am coming to you, but Mark has been waiting for a bit. I just want to squeeze him in. Mark, you're on with the doctors, Dr. Shimoleski, Dr. Zielinski, the Falcon Clinic. Go ahead.
Hi. Listen, I'm just wondering what the difference is between ADD and ADHD.
Oh, what is the difference between ADD, ADHD? Good question, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah, and one more after that.
Okay, go ahead.
So there actually is no difference. So ADD is an outdated term. The proper term, as per the DSM, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, that we use in the medical community and in the psychological community for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, is in fact ADHD. I think ADD was around, in the 1980s or 1990s?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, and Mark, second question.
Yeah, my medication, Dexedrine, has also Adderall is in the generics. It's described as Dexedrine as well, with some kind of salts. Is there a possibility? Now, the last pills that I got just after the new influx of medicine did not. It sort of felt like the Adderall that we had tried before and had failed. Is there a chance that they've screwed up the delivery by the naming, or that this is a quality control problem with the generics, which I've also found on other generics?
Yeah. Doc?
Yeah, that's yes, It's possible that, when you get a generic there, you may not get the right quality. But if I heard you right, sir, you used the word dexedrine. Dextroamphetamine is what is one of the drugs that's used. Dexedrine is, I think, like a weight loss thing or a sympathomimetic drug. I think it's a little bit different. Maybe I heard you wrong.
Well, dextroamphetamine is the generic name.
Yes.
Dexedrine is the old SmithKline and French or SmithKline and whatever the new company is. That's the trade name.
Okay.
But it seems like there's a tremendous difference between the last shipment and this one.
Can I throw in something anecdotal because my time as a physician in a previous life apparently, but I just this is anecdotal, but I have a family member who was on a medicine. They switched it and said, "This is the generic. You're fine with this." And became having, all of a sudden started having symptoms. And in this case, it was...
Side effect symptoms?
It was bad side effects.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So switched back to the original, the side effects went away, got it again at another pharmacy, and the side effects came back. Now, the pharmacist said there's nothing different between these two medicines. But there has to be something different if somebody's...
There is, and that's the problem with these generics.
Could it be something, Doc, that...
They say, they're just the same as the brand. Baloney.
It could be quality, but it could also be another ingredient that someone might be allergic to. Is that possible?
Well, when you have different medications on there, sometimes if you go to the pharmaceutical company, they will take drug X and it'll go out of the batch. It'll be pressed into a pill and go to the left side and be sprayed red, and then go to the right side and be sprayed yellow.
Wow.
And one that's a wholesale, and well, not wholesale, but manufacturer. That will go to, I don't know, one drug company, and then the other one will go to the other drug company. That's one thing. But there's also a 75-25 rule, and what that means is that generic has to approach about 75% of the efficacy and absorption and everything of the trade or the original one. So that's one thing. But then with any medication, it really is an experiment because, first of all, when any medicine, if you look on the little patient inserts there, you have absorption of the stuff, whether it's through an injection or the stomach. Then you have distribution through the body. Then you have metabolism through the liver, the kidney, or breathing it out like ether. And then you have elimination, through sweat or the urine or the stool. So, ADME, So that's with any drug on there. And so there are a lot of different things. If you have a poor gut metabolism, you're not going to absorb well. If you have kidney problems, you're not going to be eliminating it well, et cetera, et cetera.
If Mark had questions, how do they reach you guys at the Falcon Clinic?
So, and Mark, thank you very much for your questions. I hope you have a good rest of your day. So we can be reached by telephone at 315-507-4751. And our website is also www.falconclinic.com.
All right, Mark, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Davey, can you ask the investigator if we can call him right back in a few minutes? Apologize, please. All of a sudden, our lines have lit up. Manaski has one, and then I'll do one more. In studio, Dr. Zielinski and Dr. Shomolensky from the Falcon Clinic. You've apparently touched on a nerve today. I don't know what that is, but you've hit a nerve.
You said that this was going to be a hot topic, so we're happy to be here.
It is a topic. There's no doubt about it.
Sure.
I just wanted to mention, you guys gave some examples of, if you fill out a questionnaire and then they make a diagnosis. So it sounds like in some cases doctors might be struggling with individual patient needs and they're in a hurry to get on to the next case. I wonder if they have ADHD. So
that's possible.
Valid point.
Yeah. A question on Adderall and Ritalin. You talked about withdrawal and addiction. Is there an age that's too young to put a patient on something like that? Is there a minimum age in your estimation? Should kindergartners be on Adderall or Ritalin? Should second graders be on? What are your thoughts on that?
So when I did my family medicine residency at St. Elizabeth's, part of that was pediatrics. And the way that I was trained is any child, regardless of age, you never do medication first. You always try like the behavioral therapy, counseling stuff, and then medication if that's failed, with no exceptions whatsoever. I know that there are sometimes kids that are really rambunctious and stuff like that, but that was really drilled in my head. Into my head during my training. I know other different geographic parts of the country might practice a little bit differently, but that really stuck very strongly to me that whenever you're dealing with a child, we always do non-pharmacologic first. And I think most parents do appreciate that as well. Most parents don't want to put a drug into their child's body unless it's absolutely necessary. And usually in the cases where I thought, this might be the rare kiddo where I do want to jump straight to medication, I wouldn't make that determination directly. I would send the kid to a psychiatrist, to a specialist, and to a pediatric psychiatrist, so a very, very specialized person in dealing not just with psychiatric conditions, but psychiatric conditions in children, which as a family medicine doctor is a couple of degrees above my pay grade, needless to say.
So, Dr. Chmielewski, anything on that?
Well, just that, while I was still in training in New York City, one of my rotations, I had to be in the ER. And I had this one mother brought her, I think, about a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, into the ER, and he was fine, little boy. And she said, there's something wrong with my kid because he just goes wild, crazy, and he destroys everything. And I said, he looks fine right here. She said, oh, really? Let me show you. I give him sugar. Whatever, and he goes wild. And of course, you look in there, they say that, sugar is not really the big thing. Additives and preservatives and coloring is not really the big thing.
Said the sugar lobby.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So anyway, she pulled a donut out of her pocket, and she gave it to him. And I said, okay, you just fed your
got
child.
the kid doing dog tricks? What's going on here?
Well, within 5 minutes, he was ripping the ER apart.
Yeah.
It was incredible to see the change. So there is a place, for additives, coloring agents, and all that, and sugar in the behavior of some children.
Yeah.
So you hear that, oh, no, it has nothing to do with the diet and stuff like that. It's genetic. I don't personally believe that.
Okay. Very interesting.
We touched on this briefly, and I know we have some callers on the line, but one more thought. How do I want to say this? Are the standards updated as we evolve? Because I just wonder, in a world of Snapchat and TikTok, where everything's 20 seconds or 40 seconds, and then you scroll to the next thing, and it just keeps going and going and going. Are the standards for diagnosing this, have they evolved over the last 30 years as our society and culture has kind of evolved?
Yes. Of course, one of the things you mentioned, the ADD, ADHD, and of course, in the DSM there, one of the requirements there, one of the things is that there is hyperactivity. But not always on there. The other thing is that people thought that things like dyslexia, autism, severe depression were all separate from things like ADHD. And now there's a whole new, different thought that actually these things overlap and are what we call comorbidities. And that's even more important why you have to have a diagnosis as to what goes on. So it's more than 8 questions and more than just
comorbidity, like obesity or high blood pressure or things like that?
Yes, for different conditions there. Yeah, but the comorbidities might involve things like PTSD. It might involve depression, suicidal thoughts, the hyperthyroidism that Dr. Zielinski mentioned, et cetera, lead poisoning, and so on.
It's funny how we just completely discount everything, all these things around us that are prevalent today. The foods, the additives, the preservatives, as you're watching TikTok, you're watching 10 seconds, 15 seconds over and over and over and over again, as if none of that is going to have any effect on us whatsoever.
On the contrary.
Diet and life experience, I would imagine, could very well play a huge role in what we might be going through.
Well, some years ago, they had the reports out, I forget who it was, some government agency, that if we would, eat healthy and exercise, get enough sleep and so forth, probably half of all these chronic illnesses, whether in neurologic or metabolic, like diabetes and all that stuff, half of those things would go away. We live in an artificial world, just in everything we do.
Yeah.
It gets more expensive, not to be, and more time-consuming if you're growing your own vegetables and, raising organic beef and chickens and stuff like that. But our ancestors didn't have a lot of these things. We are so chemicalized and electromagnetic fields, et cetera, et cetera. We live in an artificial world.
Finally, I have Julie asking about I jotted this down, and I can't read my own writing here. hot flashes associated with menopause. Doctors seem to immediately want to put her on an antidepressant versus estrogen. Can you talk about that? And has the philosophy changed on what it was maybe 15, 20 years ago?
So the thing that we have to be very careful of...
This is not an ADHD question.
No, I know. So the thing that we have to be very careful of with that is, so there actually are some antidepressants like Paxil, for example, that do work well for hot flashes. We're not entirely sure why that is the case, other than it works. And I can certainly understand somebody's hesitation about that, particularly if they don't have depression. Why are they going to? Why are you going to give me an antidepressant?
And once you're on an antidepressant, getting off it can sometimes be very difficult.
You can also have withdrawal symptoms, like we were talking about before. So it's a matter of, do the benefits outweigh the risks? And obviously, that's a conversation they would need to have with their physician and weigh the options very carefully. Estrogen, I know that I personally, and Dr. Shimoleski, you might feel differently about it. I personally don't do estrogen replacement. I didn't get enough of it in my training to feel comfortable doing it. As a family physician, I know a lot of the OBGYNs in the area are very comfortable doing it. They just have more experience with it. And the thing that you have to be very careful of with estrogen is it can increase your risk of female cancers like ovarian, cervical, breast, and so on and so forth. So that's where my discomfort is.
Okay.
Yes, hot flashes and menopause can be very unpleasant, but again, the benefits need to outweigh the risks.
Dr. Shimoleski?
Well, of course, I would defer to a gynecologist, but HRT or hormone replacement therapy is something usually not more than 5 years from around the start of the symptoms of menopause. But the other things that sometimes will help, there's some of the supplements like Dong Quai, black cohosh is another one. One thing that also seems to work with, like, premenstrual tension and also hot flashes for menopause, high doses of B-complex vitamins and zinc. So that's why sometimes I'll tell patients to take high-potency B-complex. And you'll know it's high-potency because your thiamine is 100 milligrams, riboflavin is 100 milligrams, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And then zinc about 25 to 50 milligrams, and you take that daily.
And, Doc, very quickly, on the subject of vitamins and supplements, going back to ADHD, you know more about this than I do. Any vitamin supplements that you recommend for ADHD?
Well... Again, when you're talking about the nervous system, probably some of the best things, first of all, are the high-potency B-complex vitamins. And then some of the supplements, they talk about a lot of these things as being inflammatory and brain inflammatory. And there are a number of different things that can help with inflammation anywhere in the body.
Yeah.
Okay, and that would include pycnogenol. That's one thing. Curcumin is another one, or like turmeric. Vitamin C in high doses, maybe 1 gram 3 times a day, is another one, and glutathione is another one.
Davey, just let him know I can't take any more after this because I'm out of time. But Ed has been waiting. I'm going to squeeze him in. Dr. Shimoleski, Dr. Zielinski with the Falcon Clinic. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning. Yeah, I talked to a therapist. I got a 14-year-old diagnosed with ADHD, and they are pretty adamant about red dye. How tragic is red dye or orange and yellow dye that makes red important to ADHD?
Interesting. Red dyes. Do you guys know anything about that?
Oh, in terms of the dyes?
What he's saying is he has a 14-year-old. I'm sorry, he didn't have the headphones. 14-year-old with ADHD or being diagnosed with ADHD. And Ed, do I understand correctly that the physicians are saying stay away from red and orange dyes?
Yes, anything artificial colored or made with red or orange or yellow dye.
Okay.
I think I mentioned that earlier. I mean, absolutely. Like I said, we live in an artificial world. What do the colors do other than make something appealing so the product is sold on there?
Right.
And it has been shown that there are people who are very sensitive, especially to the red or the yellow. I don't know, the yellow number 5 or something like that.
So I just went over it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ed, does that answer your question? Anything to follow up?
Yes, sir. That's good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
It should not be surprising to people that when, for instance, person A takes a medicine and they handle it perfectly fine. Right. Person B takes the very same pill and they have a bad reaction to it. Right. It would not be a reach to say that a person who doesn't have a reaction to red dyes or the artificial preservatives or what have you, that another person might, right?
Absolutely. I go back to that donut and the sugar in the ER from my experience years ago.
All right. Well, you guys have hit a nerve this morning, so
we'll have to do a follow-up talk sometime.
We'll have to definitely do that. Thank you, Dr. Zielinski. And Dr. Shemolinsky, I know I'm not supposed to talk about things that are personal and somebody else's personal, but you've been treating my dad, and it has been a phenomenal experience. Thorough. I keep talking on the radio about how thorough you've been, and it has given them such confidence that that you're not leaving anything unturned. And I cannot tell you how much we appreciate that.
Well, thank you. It is a privilege.
All right.
It really is a privilege.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Thank you, guys.
Bill has decided to take the HIPAA paperwork and use it as
I just
kindling
ripped
for
it
a
up.
bonfire this
Just
weekend.
thrown it out the
Big
window.
Memorial Day cookout.
That is right. Guys, thank you. I got a break. We'll do the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week on the other side, because we have news coming up at WIBX.
Are you in the market for a vehicle that's like new but don't want to break the bank? Look no further than GM certified pre-owned vehicles at Steet Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer. With rates as low as 1.9% on select models, you can find new roads without the high price tag. Check out the 2022 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4 with only 3,000 miles, or the 2022 Acadia AT4 all-wheel drive with rates as low as 2.49%. And with a 6-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and an additional 1-year bumper-to-bumper limited warranty, you can drive with confidence knowing your vehicle is covered. So why wait? Visit us online anytime at SteetPawneeChevy.com to browse our complete inventory and take advantage of these amazing deals. This inventory won't last long. Steet Pawnee Chevrolet on Route 28 in Herkimer. See why it's always easy to do business at Steet Pawnee Chevrolet, your family-owned and operated dealership.
Hi, this is Bill Cole from Gates Cole Insurance with exciting news. We are expanding with a couple of new offices in our area. One new location is North Country Estates Insurance in Lowville. They are another independent insurance agency that takes pride in making customers happy and fits our culture at Gates Cole perfectly. Here is William Schaub from the newest Gates Cole agency, North Country Estates Insurance in Lowville.
Working with us as an independent agent with this many companies, we will often call our clients and say, we're going to reduce your premium if you like. We have the companies that do well in New York and specifically this area. The coverages that we provide are commercial and personal insurance. That's the home, the auto, ATV, motorcycle. There's nothing more fun than taking care of a customer and being able to tell them that we're able to save them some money.
Proudly representing Finger Lakes Fire and Casualty Company of Trumansburg, New York. Gates Cole Insurance. We'll take care of you.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates. It's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
WIBX 950 Utica, Rome. W295DI Utica, Rome.
To be the president. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We know the country's on the wrong track.
That's what Ron DeSantis tells Fox as Florida's governor enters the Republican race.
We see the border being overrun. We see crime infesting the cities. We see the federal government making it more difficult for families to make ends meet. And we have a president who is a listless vessel.
DeSantis said that after his campaign launch didn't go well on Twitter with glitches and delays.
Losing about half of its original audience in that time, the Sunshine State governor is trying to spin it as a success.
It did break the Twitter space, and so we're really excited with the enthusiasm, but ultimately it's about the future of our country.
The Republican frontrunner Donald Trump's team says Ron DeSantis' botched campaign announcement is another example of why he is just not ready for the job.
Fox's Peter Doocy, now the former president, has a big lead in a new Fox News Republican poll. Trump's at 53%, DeSantis 20%. No other GOP candidate gets 5%. President Biden has a big lead over his 2 Democratic challengers at 62% in the Fox poll, and the president just put out a statement marking 3 years since George Floyd's much protested death in an encounter with Minneapolis police that put a now ex-cop in prison for murder. The president says that led to a civil rights movement, and he's urging Congress to act on policing reform. The day after the president marked 1 year since the school massacre in Uvalde, Texas, calling for stricter gun laws.
We still need to ban, in my view, AR-15 firearms, assault weapons, once again.
An IRS worker turned whistleblower is detailing what he thinks is Biden administration meddling in an investigation into the president's son, Hunter. Gary Shapley told the CBS Evening News.
There was multiple steps that were slow walked at the direction of the Department of Justice.
And he says he was removed from the Biden tax probe when he spoke up. Shapley says that was retaliation. America's listening to Fox News.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-645-3530 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-645-3530. That's 800-645-3530. What do you have to lose? Call 800-645-3530. Again, 800-645-3530.
We have some sunshine and 44 degrees. WIBX news time is 8:03. This news update is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. New York City officials say the plans to send migrants from the big city to Onondaga County have been suspended, at least temporarily. A plan was in the works to send migrants to Candlewood Suites Syracuse Airport Hotel, located in the town of Salina. But the transfer is now on hold until legal challenges filed by the town and county are resolved in court. County executive there, Ryan McMahon, has issued an emergency order banning migrants from being housed in local motels and hotels. And again, a similar order is in place here in Oneida County. 3 brazen shoplifters with good taste are being sought by police after allegedly stealing top-shelf spirits from a local liquor store, not once, but twice this week.
Believe this story.
You can check it out. The video is posted on our website at WIBX950.com. That is according to Greg Gurria. He's the owner of Seneca Wine and Liquors on Seneca Turnpike in New Hartford. He says, he said Tuesday they came in the store and stole 4 bottles worth about $300, then came back in again on Wednesday and stole the same 4 bottles again. Adding, quote, "Let me put it this way, they've got good taste. They like expensive tequila." Gurria said after the first incident, his first call was not to police. Instead, he called his competition to give them a heads up, saying it's common that when one successful liquor store theft occurs, the crooks just drive down the road to the next location and try to do it again. You can read more on this story again and see that video on our website at WIBX950.com.
If they took the tequila with the top or the cork is like in the shape of a pine cone, that tequila some of those tequilas will sell for $80, $90, $100, $160.
Wow.
Some of those are very, very expensive.
Yeah, I had a chance to speak with Mr. Gurria last night, and he said the 4 bottles combined were valued at about $300.
Wow.
So,
yeah. Wow.
And again, that was just one incident. Again, read more on that story on our website. You can also see photos of a tractor trailer that wound up in the Sequoit Creek yesterday. The truck had just come down Red Hill Road in Chadwicks and crossed over Oneida Street before passing by a home and then crashing into Sequoit Creek. And that accident left the driver injured. Fortunately, authorities say these injuries are not considered to be life-threatening. It's unclear if the truck's brakes had failed or what may have caused the driver to lose control. The truck is affiliated with Estes Freight Shipping based in East Syracuse, and the accident remains under investigation. The State Department of Health is planning to repeal the COVID-19 mandate for healthcare workers. You may remember it was put in place back in 2021, requiring that healthcare workers be fully vaccinated. to slow the spread of COVID-19. But over 30,000 workers either quit or were fired for refusing to get their shots. Guidance involving this change will be sent out to healthcare facilities and hospitals statewide over the next few days. And Bill, I've got one more. Of course, we approach Memorial Day weekend here. And who doesn't like to go buy and fly their brand new American flag and post it up over the weekend here? Well, what do you do with the old flag? We've got the answer right now at WIBX950.com. And coming up later this hour, an unrelated topic to what we've covered so far this morning, we've got an update, if you will, in regard to Brian Nolan's exit from the Utica City School District. And we can get into that later this hour here on The Keeler Show. Another nice day on tap. We've been so lucky with this run of sunshine. Occasionally we get a shower, but mostly sunny skies most days for, I want to say, at least 3 weeks. We'll take a look at what we can expect here over the next several days. Here's your forecast.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center today. Some patchy frost in rural outlying areas early, then a good deal of sunshine. Breezy, cooler, high 63. Tonight, clear, cool, low of 37. And tomorrow, mostly sunny, not as cool, high of 67. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 at 106.9 FM.
We have sunshine, 45 degrees at 8:08.
All right, in sports, the Florida Panthers are advancing to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since 1996. Florida knocked off the Carolina Hurricanes 4-3 behind a game-winning goal from Matthew Tkachuk in the closing seconds of regulation. The Panthers sweep the Eastern Conference Final in 4 games after entering the playoffs as the lowest seed in the East. Florida will battle either the Vegas Golden Knights or the Dallas Stars in this year's Stanley Cup.
I just have to say here, I hate to beat my chest and say this is why I'm right about this particular point. I love NHL and NBA playoffs. I feel like the players go 1,000%, but in the regular season, they're giving you like 15%. I think this is an example. You have the Miami Heat on the brink of making it to the NBA Finals as an 8 seed or a 7 seed. I think the Lakers were an 8 seed. They made it to the Western Conference Finals, and you have the lowest seed in the playoffs here in the NHL is going to play for Lord Stanley's Cup.
I think it's awesome. It's just such an example of what there is in playoff sports, especially in, you said, the NHL and the NBA.
Yeah, they give it all at the end of the season, but for those long, extended regular seasons, I just feel like some of the stars are mailing it in. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, the Boston Celtics are aiming to extend the Eastern Conference Finals once again. Boston will host Miami Heat for Game 5 tonight at TD Garden. The Celtics staved off elimination with a statement 116-99 victory in Game 4 in Miami on Tuesday night. The winner of the East will take on the Western Conference champion Denver Nuggets in the NBA Finals, which start on June 1st. For the Yankees, the Orioles came from behind to even their series against the Yankees at a game apiece. After earning a 9-6 win in the Bronx, Jimmy Cordero was tagged with the loss after allowing 4 runs in a third of an inning of relief. The Mets.
Skip it. You can just skip it.
The Mets have dropped back-to-back games after falling 4-2 to the Cubs in Chicago. Kadai Senga was charged with a loss after striking out 6 and allowing 3 runs over 5 innings of work. I'm Devin Furbo. That's sports for WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Yeah, the Mets. Boy. All right, we have a bunch to get to and not a lot of time to do it. We're done at 9, and I'm off tomorrow, so I'm going to squeeze everything into this hour. It's going to be so jam-packed, it's going to be painful. That's not a good tease, is it? No. People are turning the dial as we speak. I'm just talking about Paul Buckley coming in studio. That right? That's really it. Hold tight. We'll do a Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week after this break at WIBX.
Hi, this is Lori with Express Employment Professionals. Are you looking for a new job, a career change, a position within your field? Express Employment Professionals is the staffing firm for you. Express has multiple job opportunities across many industries throughout our region. Are you an IT professional? Find that perfect company now. CNC machinists, HVAC and boiler mechanics, we've got the job for you. Are you a warehouse worker, machine operator, forklift driver? Find a better job now. Industrial painters, sheet metal workers, find that new job now. Carpenters, welders, the skilled trades, you're in demand. Bookkeepers, supply chain specialists, and administrative professionals, start a new career today. Our process is easy. Go Go to expressmohawkvalley.com to complete our online application and apply now. Our recruiters will call you to set up a meeting. You can also call our office at 315-790-5723. Express Employment Professionals. We make it our business to put you to work.
Progressive presents an ad from Mom.
What does it say here? Bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive and get protection round the clock. You know what? I'm sorry. I think it should be around. What are you signaling? Me to stop talking? Oh, all right. I'll stop talking. No, just had to tell me. That's all you had.
Get round-the-clock protection when you bundle and save with Progressive. It's easier than getting your mom to make this radio ad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Mountain Man Outdoor Supply is excited to announce the return of the 22nd annual Adirondack Paddle Fest. After a 3-year hiatus, this highly anticipated event will return to Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company on Route 28 in Old Forge, Saturday and Sunday, June 3rd and 4th. Show hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Sunday. There will be over 3 dozen top manufacturers and more than 1,000 canoes, kayaks, and SUPs from leading manufacturers, as well as hundreds of accessories to choose from. Representatives and designers will be on hand to help you decide what's best for your paddling needs. The wait is over. The Adirondack Paddle Fest is back. Join us Riverside, June 3rd and 4th at Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company. Come kick off summer at the Adirondack Paddle Fest. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all your local outdoor needs.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
It's 8:13. Good morning. Good morning. The official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is from Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Chuck and everybody over there ready to take care of you going into this Memorial Day weekend. Daylight Donuts, coffee, espresso, lattes. It's Seattle's best coffee, which is so good. The drive-thru is lightning fast. You really are, you're in, you're out, and you're on your way. And there are some drive-thrus when seeking coffee that might take you a long, long time. Not at Daylight Donuts in New Hartford, locally owned and operated. It's Daylight Donuts, fresh bagels, fresh donuts every day. You can get a box of coffee. Paul Buckley, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, William. Good morning, Jeffrey.
Good
morning. Davey, how are you, honey?
Davey's doing pretty well today.
He looks
He's
awesome.
been suffering from a lack of mojo. And
speaking of looking awesome,
you're okay, though, today, right? You're all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, he's got it back.
Like my tie.
You know, he's got it back.
Yeah, I like everything about you, Buck. Your tie looks great.
It's chick magnet.
Chick magnet, yeah.
If I just be your show, Dr. Zimliski is fascinating, and I'm listening to him as I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for David. And this what's it, ADHD? It's amazing. It just dawned on me that it's been a part of my life when I was a teenager. 20 years.
It has.
It's because all the women that I wanted to be with, they wouldn't pay attention to me.
Must have been ADHD.
What's what it is? It explains everything. It comes full circle now.
Yeah, but you're so old. It was AD. I think they call it AD.
No, BC. It was BC.
Oh, boy. It was like a little easy pitch I just threw into you.
Oh,
there.
thank
You
you.
just knocked it
I hit it right
out
out of the park, didn't I?
You did.
Thank you very
much. Oh, Lord. Are we to that time?
We're doing our
that time again.
Our
It
stick
is.
at the can tour.
Yeah. I still feel like we have to come up with a real jingle for you.
Well, you know,
Didn't we do it once? You had one once.
I was working with Stefan Nemechek on a rap.
Yeah.
But I never got it never came to fruition.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we get through the administration anyway. But anyway,
Well, I don't know.
we were
that
working on it.
We all lacked it was hard for me to identify with it. But I think there might be something out there, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm still working on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably would be offensive, though.
Of course. That's why I said it wouldn't get past the administration.
Well, which administration? You never, I mean, this
well, Stick of the Can's been around since Julian.
It has, yeah. There's Stick at the Can. The campaign coming in November will be Stick with Paul Buckley.
Stick it to Paul Buckley.
Well, it depends on who wins.
That's right. That's a good point there. Good point there.
A lot of insight. But, Paul, I've said, you're a survivor. You've been through many administrations.
I have.
And now, of course, being the film czar that you are.
Well, my elasticity or resilience or whatever the word it is, it's just it's a testimony to my talent.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
There's no doubt about that. It's just endless. My talent is endless, as we all know.
Yep, it is. Yeah, just
so is my
ask him.
attention span.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about what we're talking about.
David?
Hello, Dave.
Well, good morning, Bill. How are you?
Dave Short.
I understand why you met him here and didn't ride with him. Trust me.
No, we rode together.
Why.
We rode together.
No, he promised me coffee at Daylight Donuts, so that's where we're heading
nice.
next.
Oh, where's mine?
Very nice.
I should have brought goodies. I'm sorry.
We don't need that. No.
You're sweet enough.
All right.
Thank you.
So,
Go ahead, Dave.
So this week is the end of bulk green waste in the city of Utica.
When you say this week, does it go till Monday? Can you?
No. It started Sunday night up in North Utica.
Okay.
And it ends tomorrow night in West Utica.
Okay.
And that means that no one can put bulk material out to the curb anymore. Everything has to be containerized.
The fear is that this. First of all, I hate it. I got to tell you, in my neighborhood.
Well, you don't have to worry about it. You just put it at the curb, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
It is all year long. You know, I swear to God, sometimes you're driving along and it's trying to get down the street you're maneuvering to get down the street.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so you guys are like, we'll do that for a certain length, but at some point you got to put it in a container.
You got to shut it off.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing what people put out.
I know.
And they don't even have a tree in their yard.
Right. All of a sudden.
It's all of a sudden.
Yeah. Did it say put logs to the curb? Because that's what it looks like sometimes.
Couches.
We've seen logs. We've seen piles of gravel. We've seen trees.
Yeah.
And you look in their yard, and there's really nothing there.
Yeah.
Even bushes, shrubs, right? Like the whole thing. Somebody just dug it out and just.
And they just, yeah. I mean, we opened it up for people to help people get rid of their green waste.
Yeah.
In the spring and then in the fall for the leaves. But it's hard to get people to stop after that.
Understood.
They don't comply.
So, but now there'll be a commercial. You're on the radio talking about it. It must go. What happens if I don't put it in the can?
So what you'll get is a red ticket.
Okay.
That gives you 24 hours to do that. And then we'll be back around. And if it's not done then you get a citation.
Okay.
Enforced by the Codes Department and the Parks Department.
Yep.
Now, let's say they didn't pay the citation. It would go on the tax
So
bill.
then there's an abatement.
But what if you're a renter? It would go to the landlord.
Yes.
Well, if you're renting, you're not cleaning up your yard. That's for sure.
That's probably true.
That's not true. I know some renters.
There are some.
I saw one mowing just the other day.
Yeah, no, it's hit and miss. Some renters really take better care of than what
that is true.
The property owners do.
That's right.
So we try to work with them the best we can.
Yeah.
But if you don't pick it up, we'll give you a chance to pick it up, and after that, it's abated, and then you get billed.
Okay. All right. How much is it, by the way?
Depends on what's out there.
Oh, so it's based on the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you don't pay, it goes on your taxes.
Okay. Manaski.
I wanted to ask about whether it's, put it at the curb or sticking in the can. If somebody's taking down a tree, or there used to be restrictions on how long the branches could be and things like that.
That's
Is
correct.
that still the case, and what are the restrictions?
So you can't. We don't take any tree butts. You can take the branches, but they have to be cut up in 6-foot lengths.
Okay.
Okay. Bundled now. Now that we're not doing bulk anymore, it has to be in the container or tied up in 6-foot lengths. We'll come and get that.
All right.
When it's bulk, you can put it out to the curb, but you can't do any more than 3 yards of material, or the Solid Waste Authority can cite you.
Okay.
So there are restrictions. You just have to know what the rules are. And we do put out a flyer every spring. I think most people don't even read it, but hopefully some people do. And if they ever have a question, give us a call or give Solid Waste a call, and we'll put you in the right direction.
A lot of times, I don't live in the city of Utica, but in my municipality, they put one out as well. And you're right, a lot of people don't read them. They think they just know what it is. And I was somebody who, and I don't know why this is, in mills, they'll take green waste, but they don't take grass clippings. Utica takes grass clippings?
Which is why Jeff brings his grass clippings to Utica.
That explains a lot. But they need
no
to be
trees here. There's no yard. Where all this grass come from?
It has to be containerized now. The grass
Be
clipping.
containerized.
Yes, it has to be containerized. We're trying to keep the city streets clean, especially the catch basins clear of any debris when we get the thunderstorms over the summer.
And is there a complication, or other than maybe clogging up a sewer drain? Why wouldn't a municipality take green waste. It always struck me as odd. I was like, well, you take everything but green waste. Is there a complication or an extra fee that you pay to solid waste or
some
something?
places may not have a place to put it.
Okay, that could be it. That could be
The other thing is grass clippings are very interesting because I pile all mine on my neighbor's lot and
composting.
But it does compost, and it ultimately turns into soil. But it's unsightly. In the beginning, it's nice and green.
It stinks. Yeah.
It smells. And the bigger the pile can carry a great deal of heat, which could then turn into a possible fire.
That's correct.
All of the stuff I have learned.
Wow.
By the way, the neighbor's lot is clean of everything right now. There are no trees left or anything. Everything burned right out. It's all gone. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Do you hire someone to do your yard, William?
I do my own lawn. Yeah.
He takes pride in it too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Beautiful.
Do you do your own lawn?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I have to do it today.
It's not even. I do have to do it today too. It's not as much of pride as it is. It's the time where you're just thinking, you're doing what. It's my only rest, to be honest with you. I have a garden tractor, so I'm just.
So do I.
Running along there,
Yeah.
just hoping I don't tip it over. Other than that, everything's wonderful.
So I always keep saying, I keep reiterating every year during this time of the year, is you put it in the can, stick it in the can, you drill some holes in the bottom of the can so when the rain
That's
gets in
important,
there.
yeah.
But also when you're mowing your lawn, why make extra work for yourself? Get a mulching blade on your mower. So all I do is go over it once and that's it. And
Yeah,
it puts the nutrients back into the soil, so your grass is nice and green.
I have to tell you, I've learned a new thing. I bought one of these that has the bags in the back. It's it's the orange one. It starts the garden
Husqvarna?
tractor.
No?
It's orange. It starts with an M.
Marabido?
One of those. I don't know. Anyway, it has 3 bags in the back.
Smitty knows.
What is it, Davey?
Is it a Mahindra?
It's maybe what it
Mahindra.
is. Could be. I've never really looked at it, to be honest. Just get on it and turn it on. It seems to run. And
It's electric?
No. But what has happened is the rubber around that takes the tube that comes up and around and goes in to the big bin that is behind me, the rubber is all worn away on it. I put duct tape on it. I can't get it to work. So what you really have is the clippings don't go in the bag anymore. There's a huge cloud of grass clippings behind me. And
It's like a snowblower.
It sprinkles them all over.
Oh,
Beautiful.
how lovely.
Yeah.
Nice
So
even distribution.
I feel like I'm doing what you say.
Yes.
It's my own aerated mulch system.
Beautiful.
It's working really well. You think I'm kidding?
I always
yeah.
thought if they had one of those containers on the back of your lawnmower, if you put a recycling logo on it, could you just leave that at the curb?
Why not?
Yeah, no, I would think you could. That's a great point.
Yeah, I like
Stick it in the can.
Here's Wayne with something. Hi, Wayne. Good morning. You're on with Dave Short, and of course the legendary Mr. Buckley.
Just wanted to say hello, and you guys kind of answered my question with the what if it's too big, and I've bundled before and stuck it up on the curb, and I'm one of these where they drive by and ignore my lawn, and I have to call them, and they have to come back and get it. Like they'll pick up all the neighbors, and they leave mine, and then I call them, and they go, "Oh, okay, we'll send somebody else out, somebody out to get it," which I don't understand. Next door neighbors from me don't own, they rent. They throw out whole tree limbs that aren't even clipped, and they sit there for 3-4 weeks, then they get picked up. And I'm like, how in the heck did they get them picked up? And I can't get them to pick mine up, and they're bundled.
I have asked the very same, like a whole tree branch, a giant tree branch gets dragged out to the side of the road. The rest of us are trying to drive down the street, maneuvering around it. It's just unbelievable. Dave, how do you handle it? You're going to find these people.
That's right. We're going to have to find them.
Yeah.
That's the only way we can keep the streets clean.
Yeah.
But what if they're renters?
It's tough
They're gonna
with renters.
find the landlord.
We find the landlords. It takes time, but
Even if they live in Detroit?
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Postal Service is great. We'll find you.
Yep, they're going after him.
We'll send the bill.
Are you in Utica, Wayne?
Yeah,
you are.
Yep,
Okay.
South
All right.
Utica.
All right. There you go, Wayne. Thank you.
All right, thank you, guys.
Have a great day and a great weekend. And all right, anything else you want to add to this conversation?
Just stick it in the can.
Okay.
But I've got something else to say about the film commission here
Okay.
in Utica.
All right.
Films Utica. We're looking for. We're having.
Can I just say we just came off a really great experience at the
Huge
train
money.
station, and it was a great experience for Oneida County and for the city of Utica.
It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I feel fortunate that we were here for. They came, they chose us, and they had a good time. We got high ratings from them for the New York Film Commission. So
yeah.
hopefully they'll be back after this the writer's strike. But we have one coming in November, and it's going to be a union gig. And the guy's out of Rochester. He's written the thing, and it's his first time out, so he's nervous as hell.
Yeah.
And everything's going to be shot here in Utica, and there'll be cattle call for extras and stuff like that coming down the road. So everybody listen for that. Everybody got headshots and stuff like that. Send it all into filmsutica.com. We're looking for a house to film in, and this is like a Center Hall Colonial. I'll send you the pictures, Jeffrey, so you can put them up on the web or whatever.
You mean you're going to send him a rendering?
Something
of
they look like. Anything close to it.
Something like
and
this.
anybody wants to get involved with it.
Okay.
They'll rent your house out for like maybe 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
And do the filming and trash your house.
But you get money. You get money for it, right?
Yeah. They'll pay you for it. But that's some way to get involved. And like I said, if you got headshots, you got certain talents, just send your stuff into filmsutica.com. We'll keep it on file. So when these people come in and they want people, and this thing that came in here with Severance with Ben Stiller, that was all a union gig, and that was well planned. They had like 150 crew.
Right.
And when I was down on the set, they were like, a lot of people standing around, and so it's amazing how they operate and how many people they brought in for like maybe 4 shots. So. It's not as glamorous as everybody may think it is, and but that's what it is.
That's the life. It's pretty
It
cool.
is, and it's a young kid's gig. I mean, I couldn't do it anymore.
All right. Although your brother still does.
He does. He's
in a
doing
different
very-
world.
He's with Marvel now, and then
That's marvelous.
Yeah, it is. Bum.
But he works in his computers, right?
Right.
Is
He dials it in as he
Yeah.
calls it from
Yeah.
home. But he's up in Vancouver, and he's been there for years. And I don't know what he's moving on now. Working on
and
now,
Vancouver's become a real hotspot
It is.
for
It's
Hollywood.
Canada Hollywood.
Yeah.
So, and he's living it. He's living it up there and loving it. And what more can I say?
All right, Dave Short. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
I just want to say, stick it in the can.
Stick it in the can. All
That's
right.
great. Your brother dials it in. I'm more old school. I just mail it in. That's how I like to do it.
You don't get any more old school than Paul Buckley, who just said to me, "I bought Jimmy Fallon tickets. The only thing I've got is a printout. I don't have any tickets."
I just heard this.
I'm like,
Those
Paul,
are your tickets.
Yeah,
tickets.
but it's a sheet. They're sheets of paper.
That's correct.
I'm used to like a little, 4x2 ticket.
Those days are gone. That's a Ticketmaster policy.
Bring back the past.
You don't even. I don't even think you can select to have your tickets mailed anymore. And if you do, they charge you extra for it.
Well, it's such a waste of paper.
Yeah. Well, you don't need to use your paper. You could.
Use my phone.
Use your phone. Yeah, your
there's
phone
there's
will
another
be
thing
your
I don't understand completely.
will be your ticket. Paul's one of those that's like, yeah, I got to get tickets for the comedy club. Here's my information. Can you get them for me?
and thank you, William. You obliged me very nicely. Thank you very much for doing all that for me.
3 or 4
it's like taking care of your
Pauls out there,
grandfather.
Listen, when I'm a grandfather, I plan to know this stuff. I am not going to be asking for help.
Well, then you'll have ADHD and you'll forget all about it.
That's probably no. ADHD is I don't forget about it. I just stop doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's,
Whatever it is.
I'm not going to finish
I
that.
forgot about it already.
All right. Thank you. You should know. Have a wonderful holiday weekend.
Love you, William.
Thank you.
I've got my my red, white, and blue Crocs out already. I'm about to start wearing them tomorrow.
That's nice.
Yes.
Can't wait.
I'll send you a picture.
Should be wonderful. On that note, we'll break. Hold tight.
Thank you, boys.
We'll wrap up this Thursday morning at WIBX.
Mountain Man Outdoor Supply is excited to announce the return of the 22nd annual Adirondack Paddle Fest. After a 3-year hiatus, this highly anticipated event will return to Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company on Route 28 in Old Forge, Saturday and Sunday, June 3rd and 4th. Show hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday and 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Sunday. There will be over 3 dozen top manufacturers and more than 1,000 canoes, kayaks, and SUPs from leading manufacturers, as well as hundreds of accessories to choose from. Representatives and designers will be on hand to help you decide what's best best for your paddling needs. The wait is over. The Adirondack Paddle Fest is back. Join us Riverside, June 3rd and 4th at Mountain Man Outdoor Supply Company. Come kick off summer at the Adirondack Paddle Fest. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all your local outdoor needs.
The Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is your community foundation. Together, we've invested $125 million in the community, thanks to people, families, and businesses that want to give back and build a brighter future. And you don't have to have big bucks to make a big difference. Join us as we invest in the future of our community. Learn more about your community foundation at foundationhoc.org.
On Thursday, June 1st, the Rome Capitol Theater presents the Linda Ronstadt Experience. The Linda Ronstadt Experience features 2016 American Idol finalist Tristan McIntosh with a six-piece band. Singer-songwriter Sydney Irving opens the show at 7:30. The Linda Ronstadt Experience, Thursday, June 1st at the Rome Capitol Theater. Get your advance sale tickets today. Brought to you by Gunther Wealth Management.
Are you ready to make the most important decision for your child's future? Some are easy, some are not. Some make all the difference, like choosing Notre Dame schools. Offering grades pre-K through 12, your child will be ready to learn and thrive in a challenging atmosphere surrounded by great teachers and the most current technology. Notre Dame offers small class sizes, high academic standards, and spiritual fulfillment. At Notre Dame, we foster an environment of diversity and community. Students feel supported and more confident in achieving their goals. Our students learn from each other and are challenged to grow and develop their innate talents. Notre Dame is faith-based, but everyone is welcome. If you have higher expectations for your child, Notre Dame offers a higher level experience. If you're ready to launch your child's future into the most successful career path and build the next generation of leaders, call today for a tour or visit NotreDameUtica.org. Notre Dame schools, ready to learn, destined to lead.
I can't take this kitchen any longer. Carl, we need to start looking for a new house.
Honey, you know the housing market is tight. It's going to be next to impossible to find something that we like.
I know, but this kitchen has to go.
Hey, what about a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank? We can turn the equity from our home into cash to renovate, just the way you want.
Renovate?
Adirondack Bank has competitive rates, and they've been a trusted community bank for decades.
A new kitchen. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah.
Then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the deck, even add a pool, and take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about.
Whoa, slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank about that home equity loan. Then we can decide where to start.
I've always wanted to add on a craft room, and our bathroom needs a facelift.
Don't move. Improve. Stop into your local Adirondack Bank branch for more information on a home equity loan or visit AdirondackBank.com. Bank local with Adirondack Bank, your hometown community bank. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
On behalf of IBEW Local 43 Union Electricians and the NECA Contractor, we are pleased to partner with Syracuse University in providing our members with an opportunity to enhance their education at this great university.
Syracuse University's partnership with the IBEW will provide talented students the opportunity to advance their careers while shaping the future of the electrical trades and the industries they serve.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
You notice we have John Decker coming up in a second, and how I spelled it on the sheet. I think I spelled it incorrectly. I now only spell the word gray one way. The same way Grey Goose is spelled, unfortunately. I believe it should be Gray TV, not Grey. John Decker, Chief White House Correspondent for Gray TV. He'll be coming up in a little later on. John, formerly of Fox News. I know you got a lot of stuff there. We have comments. We have all of that. But I did want to go back to the woman, the Georgia politician. I got to find this woman's podcast. I'm
so
you've
circled back. You've come back to where we were. It's like a globe.
It's
kind of like a globe.
And that's where we go with this. I believe she has a podcast or a show, which then gets posted online. You got to search this out.
And proves anyone can have a podcast or a show.
It's called Jesus, Guns, Babies. And
it's like the title got cut off or
it's
clipped.
like you walk into a store and it's like, Jesus, guns, babies everywhere. A Georgia politician and a flat earther, yes, she is a flat earther, and wait till you hear her clip, says the reason we see globes all over the place, by globes she means a globe, a geographic globe, but it could be a globe over a street pole, a light pole. It could be a circular clock. It could be, she's looking around like, look at that. That's like a globe. That could be a globe. And what she's saying is, and by the way, she is, in her district, she is the GOP district chair. Candace Taylor is her name. And my guess is one day she'll be in Congress. But here she is talking about what they're doing with the globes and how they're trying to brainwash every single one of us.
I can't unsee this. All the globes everywhere. I turn on TV. There's globes in the background. There's globes on there right here. Like this would be a globe if I was a normal person. Like everywhere there's globes. My children will be like, Mama, globe, 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 globe. They're everywhere. And that's what they do to brainwash. And so for me, if it is not a conspiracy, if it is, real, why are you pushing so hard? Everywhere I go, every store, you buy a globe. There's globes everywhere. Every movie, every TV show, news media. Why?
This woman has nightmares over snow globes. I can only imagine. You got to try to book her. Anyway, this comes from the same state as Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's another one that went down the slippery QAnon hole. And I don't know. Georgia's beginning to compete with Florida for the weirdest news stories.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know where to begin. I'll tell you this also.
You know who's been brainwashed? Her kids, who are now counting the globes in the neighborhood as they're driving down the road. Who's been brainwashed?
So if you're searching, it's Candace, Kandiss. Candace, not the traditional spelling. Kandiss.
Taylor. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm grabbing her podcast. I got to check this out.
I just can't even get over the accent. I don't know how long I could listen.
Well, listen, I don't have anything against the accent. It's what the accent is producing, the content that's coming out of
That's a great point.
Yeah. National Wine Day is today. There'll be people complaining everywhere.
Yeah, well, I was going to say most Americans celebrate this every day.
We wine and wine and wine. An update on the Florida man who lost his arm to an alligator attack behind a bar. Jordan Rivera is okay, they say, healing in the hospital. And actually pretty chill. They're saying here pretty chill. So that would mean he is pretty, I'm okay. Everything's all right, man.
Mellow? It's probably the meds they gave him.
Everything's good. He's pretty chill about the whole situation. Here he is telling the story about how his arm was bitten off by an alligator. Here we go.
I didn't lose my life, lost an arm. It's not the end of the world. They got my elbow, so I don't have an elbow, but I can still move my arm around and whatnot. I just saw a little lake, just trying to go over there and just, take a little pee and whatnot. Something happened where I either tripped or something, the ground below me kind of just went down, and I ended up in the water. And that's literally the last thing I remember. Fusion, I was like, whoa, I was just, because I woke up and I was just sitting here, and I looked over, and then I saw my arm the way it was, and I was like, ooh. It kind of just feels like my arm's just there, but not there.
Yeah, I'm amazed that he can talk about it so nonchalantly. And you know what? It should not be. You should not forget that this happened outside behind a bar where he was going out to take a pee, and fell, and then fell in the water, and that's when the alligator got him.
Well, that'll teach you not to drink, right?
Man, if that isn't enough to say I'm done drinking, I don't know what is.
So I'm sorry. Now you pushed, kicked,
by the way,
and stuffed me in a rabbit hole of Candace Taylor.
Georgia to Florida. Yeah, there's got to be a podcast. As I said, I will be checking that out.
This is on the announcement this week of DeSantis, right? He made the formal announcement. Ron DeSantis about he wants to run?
Yes.
Okay, she says she's replying to somebody else. Makes 0 sense. He knows at real Donald Trump won. Why would he run against him in a rigged system? He must be part of something we don't know, or be part of something we are not part of. I have two answers for her: reality and democracy.
Yeah.
Those are the two things that we're a part of that she is absent from.
Yeah, pretty scary. Hobaika says, Candace, he knows her well. She's an auxiliary member of the Constitutional Caucus.
Wow.
I hope that was meant for the air, Joe, because I read it. An Illinois man, I have more stories here. This one is not from Florida or Georgia. This is from Illinois. An Illinois man was arrested in Nevada after he allegedly stole a backhoe and drove it to the airport because he was about to miss his flight to the West Coast. Here is Sheriff Jeff Diedrich talking about Timothy J. Baggett, his alleged stealing of the vehicle, the backhoe. Here we go.
You hear of people either getting rides from other people, borrowing cars, stealing cars, but yeah, a backhoe being stolen from a job site and driven 10 miles to an airport for an individual to catch a flight all the way to the West Coast carrying a guitar, that is unique.
I didn't know about the guitar part, but I'm assuming that just adds to the story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What else do we go ahead?
Do you want that? I've got a comment here via the WIBX 950 app, and it's regarding the Utica City School District situation. This comes from Sue in Utica. She says, regarding the superintendent resigning, people don't leave without a 30-day notice or 2 weeks, etc., unless something is a final straw. That's people with integrity, which I presume, being a professional educator, he does have some integrity, or a contract to adhere to. How much longer does it take to investigate Karam? No one would want this man to be the face of the school district after the report that took forever to investigate and complete. Why are they continuing to let him milk this? He would never want to go back either. There is no confidence with most of the staff. And apparently that's her take on the situation in the Utica City School District.
All I can tell you is that it is, from what we have been told, it is being investigated by the Northern District, by the Comptroller's Office, and by the FBI. So I think everybody's sitting and waiting. And somebody said yesterday, why don't you just hire a new superintendent, a permanent superintendent? And you can't because you already have a permanent superintendent.
Correct.
And I think, based on my interpretation of the law and our conversation with the DA, Scott McNamara, who confirmed to us that it was being investigated, but outside of his office, I think the school is the district is as much in limbo as the rest of us and even Mr. Karam himself. Everybody's waiting to see what happens. Although I will tell you this, over the course of the last couple of weeks, I have spoken with people who say they have actually testified involving this case. So I don't know what that means, but...
Did they tell you what they testified to?
I did get a little information, and I'd rather not run with what I was told.
That's disappointing.
So there is stuff going on. All I can tell you is their testimony was in regards to the Utica School District.
All right, and then can I also give you this? This was sent to me today, a screenshot. It's got Utica City School District letterhead on it. I believe it to be authentic. I don't know why it wouldn't be. It's dated yesterday. It's regarding the situation. It's a statement regarding the Brian Nolan situation, and it comes from the Board of Education. It says here, the Utica City School District Board of Education extends its sincere gratitude to Mr. Brian Nolan for his service and support as acting superintendent of the Utica City School District since October 18th, 2022. Throughout his 7 months with the district, Mr. Nolan was an exemplary supporter of Utica students, families, and staff. The connections that Mr. Nolan developed with children, families, and employees during his time in the district will remain a cornerstone going forward. On May 23, 2023, Mr. Nolan resigned for personal reasons from the position of acting superintendent. During our regular board meeting on the evening of May 23, we announced the temporary appointment of Stephen Falchi as acting superintendent of schools through June 30th of 2023. So it appears that appointment's only good for 5 weeks, and some action will have to be taken after that. On behalf of the entire Utica City School District community, we thank Mr. Nolan for his leadership, collaborative, it's cut off here, and encouragement. We wish him the best. And that is the statement here, to my understanding, from the Utica City School District Board of Education.
Another story out there, and it involves artificial intelligence. We've heard a lot about AI over the course of the last few months, right? And Bill Gates is out talking now, and listen to this. So how will it affect all of us? According to Gates, now this might not be necessarily a bad thing. I don't know. Take it how you like. But this is what Bill Gates says. AI could be the end of Google Search, Amazon, and Shopify. Bill Gates is predicting the end of these sites and sites like it, like Google, Amazon, and Spotify. Because he says now that AI is here, sites like those will be completely outdated if AI continues to evolve at its current pace. To put it bluntly, if AI understands what you want, why waste time visiting a search engine or shopping on Amazon? As a result, Gates feels that AI is already changing future economies.
Yeah.
But listen to what he is implying. That artificial intelligence, and it's hard for us to even comprehend the reality of this. What he is implying is that artificial intelligence will know what you want based on all sorts of information that it's received about you. It will know how you think. Now, I hear that, and I'm like, give me a break. Is this like some Stephen King movie coming out? I don't believe it, because I can't comprehend it. I cannot, because you can't know what someone is thinking unless you were, you had ESP, which we know no one really has. There's intuition. You can kind of have a hunch about what somebody might be thinking, but you don't know for sure. According to Bill Gates, what will happen is AI will know what you want.
Again, so maybe I can't necessarily comprehend it, right? But I could actually see more of an application where Google goes away because, and we kind of have this with Siri to some extent, where you just speak it. You just say, hey, tell me this, and it just blurts out whatever it finds. I'll give you an example. This is a logo here, the Utica Yeti Lacrosse Club. We had Noecker on the show to talk about this, I think, last week. So it's still sitting here on the counter. I cannot fathom that AI would know that for some reason, I don't know, we went to a break and I didn't have anything to look up, and I said to myself, what's the history of lacrosse? How did that actually start? How AI would know in advance that I was going to think that just based on, because I wasn't planning it, just I saw the logo and it made me think, where did that come from?
That's what he's implying.
If it can do that, we need to stop with the AI. I am petrified, scared to death of AI.
I'm afraid that AI is going to know what I'm thinking.
Exactly.
Over the years, I've learned to keep my mouth shut on certain things.
All right.
And if AI knows and starts revealing what I'm thinking, it won't be good.
Yeah.
It'll be
you going to a meeting?
Very bad. You, on the other hand, you have what I call resting reveal face. I can look at you, and if you're Hobika's the same thing. If Joe's upset about something, you can read it on his face.
Yeah.
I'm not that person. I feel like I have a bit of a poker face.
You do.
I just constantly look confused. Maybe that's what it is. Sahid Karsik is an investigator with the Nettle County Sheriff's Department. We missed him earlier, and I apologize greatly. But we got caught in the middle of many people with questions from the Falcon Clinic and Dr. Zielinski and Dr. Shemaleski. It's the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week, and let's go with that right now. Investigator, good morning, and full apologies here this morning.
No, that's okay, Bill. Good morning.
Okay, so let's talk about, and by the way, it's up on our website right now, this week's Wanted Person of the Week.
So, Bill, this week we have an individual who we're looking for by the name of Peter, middle initial J, last name Polinsky. He's a white male. He's 35 years of age. He's about 6'1", weighs approximately 195 pounds, has brown hair, brown eyes, and currently our office holds one arrest warrant for him on 2 counts of forgery in the second degree out of Utica City Court.
So, can you talk at all about what the situation is surrounding this?
Yeah, I could briefly speak about it. So, back in, I believe it was November of 2022, and I believe it was September of 2022, Mr. Polinsky attempted to defraud the county of Oneida by issuing invalid checks as a payment for delinquent assumed future village, town, and county taxes.
Okay, all right. That would be a no-no. There's no doubt about it. So this person is currently wanted. Full photo up on the website. There's a story about it with details. Additionally, Milwaukee Valley Crime Stoppers is a great way to report things. Investigator, it's 100% anonymous.
Absolutely, sir.
All
Absolutely,
right.
Bill. I agree.
Okay, thank you so much, Investigator Karsick. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
You do the same. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
As I said, that story is up on our website at WIBX950.com. Here he is the chief White House correspondent with Gray TV, John Decker. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Bill. Hope you're doing well today. Happy Thursday to you.
Well, listen, you've been traveling. You have been all over the world over the course of the last week and a half.
I have. Back from Hiroshima, got back on Sunday night and got right back into the swing of things. I actually went to work on Monday morning. How about that? Even after that long flight back from Japan. And then I think all this week just reporting primarily on the debt ceiling talks that have been ongoing and still not resolved.
Well, let's talk about that. Very important that some deal is done. You have Democrats not happy with Biden, saying he's going too far. There is a part of the Republican Party that doesn't want McCarthy to go too far. Is there a perfect sweet spot that gets this done?
Well, I do not know the answer to that. You know, even if, it's a big if, I used to say when, but even if Joe Biden and Kevin McCarthy shake hands on a deal, they each have to then sell the deal to their respective parties, you know, and that means progressives who believe that Democrats and the Biden White House conceded too much, and for Kevin McCarthy convincing the Freedom Caucus that they extracted enough in terms of concessions from the Democrats. And, of course, Freedom Caucus may feel they did not extract enough.
Yeah.
So that is another part of the equation that people sometimes overlook. The clock is ticking. June the 1st, 1 week from today, or I should say, yeah, that is 1 week from today, in which the Treasury Secretary says that the U.S. could potentially default on our debt obligations. So, you know, the clock's ticking, and, you know, no new meeting is scheduled as of yet on the schedule between Biden and McCarthy. And I think when a new meeting is scheduled, that will be a positive sign. That means that progress indeed has been made at the staff level.
John, forgive me for even asking this. Is the meeting actually between Biden and McCarthy? We hear so much from the right saying, you know, he's incoherent, he's not there, someone else is running the country. I'm surprised this isn't Schumer and McCarthy. Is it actually President Biden and McCarthy sitting down negotiating?
Well, let me explain something in terms of who's in the room. It's Biden, it's McCarthy, it's the chief of staff for Kevin McCarthy, and it's some economic advisors and the chief of staff for President Biden. But as far as the principals are concerned, the only two principals in the room at this stage of the game are Kevin McCarthy and Joe Biden.
Interesting.
And when Biden was away, of course, the staff members of both were constantly meeting. I think a lot of the legwork is done behind the scenes, trying to create this perfect atmosphere where the two of them can get in a room and hammer this out.
Well, that's right. You know, look, this past week was the third time that Kevin McCarthy and Joe Biden have met in as many weeks. It was the first time that they were meeting without the other congressional leaders, so no Mitch McConnell, no Hakeem Jeffries, and no Chuck Schumer, just these two. And, in fact, what Mitch McConnell has done is he said to Kevin McCarthy, you handle it. You know, the real difficult part is getting it through the House, so you represent Republicans in terms of these negotiations. And you know what, Bill? It's pretty remarkable when you think about where we were just a month ago. The the Biden White House, the press secretary had been saying, we're not negotiating. There's nothing to negotiate about. It has to be a clean bill, meaning no other extraneous issues attached to extending the debt ceiling attached to legislation. And here we are a month later, and they are negotiating. So major concession already on the part of the White House. We also know about concessions in terms of the decrease in spending that Democrats would be amenable to. That, too, is a major concession. It's not enough, clearly, as far as Republicans are concerned, but still it is a major concession.
You said a week from today we would actually default on our debt. What's the impact for the average American?
What is the real impact? Because there are Republicans saying today that they're bluffing here, that it's not going to be as bad as what is being described.
Well, I disagree with them, and it could be as early as June 1st. So that's, important distinction, not June 1st, 12:01, the world's going to blow up. But
Okay.
it's around that time. And so what would be the implications? Well, first of all, the financial markets would take a huge hit. So if you have any type of retirement account, you're going to notice a decline in the value of that retirement account, maybe a significant decline. That's number one. And then if you're a Social Security recipient, you may not receive your Social Security check. If you're a veteran and depend on certain benefits, you may not receive those benefits that you've earned. And if you're a service member, you would not receive a paycheck. So major implications if the U.S. defaulted on its debt for many individuals and every group that I just described, a Social Security recipient, a service member, a veteran, all those groups absolutely exist in every congressional district in this country. I mean, lawmakers should be aware of that before they, want to play this game of political chicken and say it's no big deal. It would impact their constituents.
Yep. Quickly, if you could, the DOJ investigation on President Trump.
Well, this week, the lawyers representing the former president wrote a letter to the Department of Justice. They publicized this letter. And in that letter, they asked for a meeting with Merrick Garland, the Attorney General. They claim that the investigation has been biased, that their client has been treated unfairly. No response yet from the Department of Justice, but I doubt very much they're going to get a meeting with the Attorney General. The reason being is because that such a meeting would be unprecedented. Is it possible to get a meeting with the Deputy Attorney General, perhaps, or the head of the criminal division at the Department of Justice? Yes, perhaps. And these types of letters get written when you are concerned that your client may soon be charged with a crime. You may recall we spoke about it just a few weeks ago when the lawyers representing Hunter Biden met at the Department of Justice with prosecutors. They're concerned that their client, Hunter Biden, may soon be charged with a crime. So this happens all over America every day of the week when lawyers, request meetings with prosecutors. But this is an unusual one because they're saying they want to meet with the prosecutor, Merrick Garland, and they're also claiming about an unfair investigation being conducted by Jack Smith, the special counsel.
John Decker, as always, thank you so much. Have a wonderful holiday weekend. We'll speak next week.
I look forward to it. Thanks again, Bill.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, John. John Decker is the chief White House correspondent with Gray TV. A couple things. Portions of the program brought to you by New York Sash. This day, today, tomorrow, Saturday, you still have time to get over and sign up for a brand new Weber grill. It's a $675 value.
Wow.
Plus, you can get 20% off on windows and doors and bathrooms. In fact, I'm in the process of having windows put into our home as well. As they celebrate Memorial Day, they ask you to remember the veterans and those who have passed away in defense of the country. It is New York Sash, 349 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. By the way, for the Weber Grill, no purchase is necessary. We're back here on Tuesday morning. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. And it's 9 o'clock. WIBX, Utica, Rome.
He'll have his first campaign events in Iowa next week. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Florida governor turned presidential candidate Ron DeSantis.
The country's going in the wrong direction.
And DeSantis tells Fox,
we need to win again as Republicans. We got to dispense with this culture of losing.
He said that after a rollout on Twitter that didn't go well with technical issues and long delays. Vivek Ramaswamy, who's also running for president, just told Fox.
Competition breeds strength, so I look forward to debates on the substance. I know it probably wasn't the smoothest rollout for him. I can empathize with some of the technical snafus that a candidate might go through.
Former President Trump did not have such empathy. His campaign called the glitchy DeSantis launch a disaster.
Another example of why he is just not ready for the job. And the fight to save America is too critical to gamble on a first-timer who is clearly not ready for prime time. The Biden team got in on some of the trolling on Twitter, too. They posted this fundraising link that just said, this link works.
Fox's Peter Ducey, a new Fox poll, has DeSantis second in the Republican race at 20%, 33 points back of Trump. No other candidate gets 5%. President Biden still has not worked out a debt limit deal with House Republicans who demand spending cuts be tied to an increase in new borrowing to prevent a looming default, leading Fitch to put a negative watch on top of the U.S. #1 credit, AAA-rated credit. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy tells Fox Business.
We will come to an agreement when we get it worthy of the American public, and there should not be any fear. Money's coming in every day.
Another Capitol rioter is going to prison. Richard Barnett got a 4.5-year sentence.
A widely seen photograph from that day shows the 63-year-old retired firefighter from Gravette, Arkansas, leaning back in then Speaker Pelosi's office chair